You ever been to a conference that when you left, you felt like you can do anything?
It's messing up again.
This ain't about magic. This ain't about mind tricks. It's about pulling the greatness out of you.
All right. Hey, you guys, what's going on? Hey, have you ever been to a conference? I know I have. How about you guys? Listen, welcome. I am so super stoked, so super excited to bring to you part 2, not 1, but part 2 of the Celebrating You Women's Conference and Expo. Our theme this year is virtually you. You want to know why it's virtually you? Because it's literally, it's all about you. It's all about you virtually putting yourself in a place and space, getting your mindset really preoccupied to a point where you can now position yourself when we come out of this days, right? When we come out of this movie, because that's what it feels like we're in, right? So I am just super uber excited, if you can't tell, about what's in store for today. I can't explain other than to just tell you I'm super excited. So let me say, I have something to share with you. Once again, you saw that one amazing video about, have you ever been to a conference? And, you know, a lot of us can say, yeah, we've been to a conference, but you never been to this kind of conference. Like, so my conferences that I normally had, first for you, I don't even know who I am. Let me tell you who I am. My name is CAROLYN Wilson of Magnify Your Essence. Listen, I am the Fearless Magnified Educator. I am here to serve you. That's literally my mission. That's basically my vision, to just be here of service to you, to make sure that you get the tools that you need to position yourself for your own greatness, for your own potential, for your own, like, limiting beliefs. They're in the past. Like these speakers that are coming to you today, this is going to be the best few hours that you spent on a Sunday, other than maybe if you did worship earlier today. But this is going to really get your week started. Even though if you're like me, you don't even know what day it is, because I had to remind myself that, oh, today's Sunday. So listen, I am just so super stoked. Super. So you're going to see me looking down every few seconds. Super stoked about who we have joining us this day. So let me see if I can get. All right. So wait a minute. What just happened? Let me stop sharing that part on my screen and get back to where I should be, which is with you. Here we go. All right. I couldn't see where I was. So, but listen, like I said, I have 5 dynamic. When I tell you dynamic, I'm sorry. I don't have, you have, we have. We're in this thing together, because I can't wait to hear the nuggets that they're going to drop. When I tell you mindset is everything, it's everything.
You ever been to a conference?
And here we go.
When you left, you felt like you could do
We need to hear that twice, apparently. This is something we got to hear again. Let's listen.
This ain't about magic. This ain't about mind tricks.
Sure isn't. It's not about mind tricks. What is it about? Don't know. Once again, sometimes you just got to go with the flow, and that's what I do. I had no clue that was going to play again, but apparently we need to hear that again. Have you ever been to a conference? I love, that's Roger Williams. He was actually the host, my last one, when I had it for free. Let me give you some background. Let me give you a little bit of background. So this is my 6th year anniversary for the Celebrating You Women's Conference and Expo. That is normally a full-blown, full-day, like excitement. It's just kind of like you never been to a conference like this before. It's just so jam-packed with nuggets and knowledge and, you know, and just excitement and empowerment. Like you come in one way and you truly, 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 truly leave out another way, to the point where this is year 6 and I still hear comments from year 1, from year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. It's like when things pop out on everyone's memory, like, wow, so remember that. Like it just sticks with you. See, that's when you know that there's something when it just sticks with you. It's like glue. And then you just hold on to those things. It gets embedded. It's the seed. So that's what we plan on doing today. Today is about just planting these seeds, planting seeds. If you know anything about gardening, which I don't, but if you know anything about, you know, farming, which I don't personally, but I understand the concept, right? I understand the concept. I understand you have to sow seeds. You have to sow seeds, and they have to find a time and point to kind of just get planted. And they have to be in the dirt, and they have to be underground, and they have to be just planted. And they have to just be, they have to sit there for a while, and they have to be nurtured, and they have to get their nutrients, and they have to take their time to come out of this shell, because all the seeds are in a shell. So that's all of you. Right now, we're all these with the shell. So we're going to plant these seeds. All these speakers that are coming to you today are going to plant these seeds in you. So that way it'll just sit, and it'll sit, and hopefully you'll do some things to give it nourishment. You'll water it. You'll allow the sun to kind of light to just kind of shine on it, and then allow it to start to manifest and start to grow until it reaches the surface. See, I can't wait to see what grows. I can't wait to see all the seeds that grow from today. Just hearing the messages that you guys are going, guys and girls, gotta keep it, you know, generic, what you're going to hear today. So I am going to, let me see, where are we at? We are at 3:15. So let's see who's on with us. We got some people online joining us. Let's give some shout outs to, hey, Monique, I see you. I see you. I see you. Hey, Ira. Hey, Yolanda. She was part of the conference the last one we had back in June, where she was part of the Sister's Choice. And let's see, we have Russell. Hey, Russell, that's my baby. That's my son. Hey, Russell. Hey, what's going on? We got, let's see, who else we have on there. So, are you guys excited? Let me see you type on there if you're excited. Like, let me talk to me. Are you guys excited about today? Like, really, like, are you excited? I see some amens. I see some hellos. I see, okay. I see some stuff on here. So what's going on? Talk to me. I'll wait. We got the Jeopardy. Right? So I am going to, let me see where else. Who else is on? Let me see who's backstage. Let me look and see who's backstage. We have Eugenia right there. I see her backstage. I see you, even though your camera's not on, but I see you. I see that she's on. She all the way from the UK. See, that's one of our speakers. See, now I got to tell you who our speakers are. Since I'm looking backstage, you don't see them, but I see them. I know who you're going to get. This is just so uberly amazing. So let me see who I see back there. I'm going to chat with you guys and see. We have, see, now I have to cheat because they have their, when I tell you their bios, their resumes, what they bring, it's just unbelievable. See, I have like Command Central. I got all these phones. I got all these apparatuses here to make sure that we stay in touch with each other, because we're from around the world. So you're going to get a message from the UK. You're going to get a message from Las Vegas. You're going to get a message from Michigan. You're going to get a message from Florida. You're going to get a message from Hong Kong, China. Did y'all just hear me say that? Oh my gosh. Like, okay, so here we go. Let me get to these bios, because these bios are awesome. That's all I'm going to say is these bios are amazing. So first up, all the way down from the Sunshine State. See, even though this is a women's conference, men are always welcome, because when we're talking about our mindset, it's not a gender specific thing. It's about your thoughts. It's about where you see yourself is where you put yourself, is how you believe in yourself. And so we're going to hear all of that from these speakers. But I always like to have, whenever I have the opportunity to have a man on the panel, or any men that attend or just part of it and they're active, I always have to let them lead. Ladies, you follow what I'm saying? I always have to let them lead. So the first person we will hear from, because that just also goes to show that they're here to support. They're here to support all of us. We're here to support them just like they're here to support us. So we are going to hear from, I call him Sir Charles, but you guys are going to learn and to grow and to know him, Charles Mills, all the way from Florida. Now, his bio is I had to truncate it because it's so long, because he has so much. First of all, he's a retired military he's a decorated. I can't even begin to tell you all the accolades he has received while serving. So he's already about service, right? For our country. Not only that, and like I said, you can go to my page where I literally gave everybody their bio. And when he comes on, he'll share a little bit with you, because he's going to spend some time with us. So, but I can tell you that he has extensive training. First of all, military training is extensive. And then all his accolades that he has and his chain of command, where he was and how he led. He's going to bring us some strategic leadership in the midst of chaos. So can you imagine chaos? Yeah, because we're living it right now, chaos, right? So he's going to really bring and hone in just some strategic leadership, because we're all leaders in our own right. We're all leaders to our family. We're leaders to our community. We're leaders for ourselves, right? So he's going to bring us some nuggets and give us some of that mental toughness and the things that he's learned and he applied. And of course, I also had to share on there that he's about family. He's truly about family. He's truly about, the kingdom and the work that he has to do in order to bring community together. So I am just so excited to hear what he has to say to give us this strategic alignment. So that's one. So now here we go. So now let's get down to our next speaker. Oh boy. All the way from UK. She's still up. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, I got to understand, she stayed up to be live, not to send a recording, but to be live, to join us, to give us this nugget, to give us this seed, right? To give us this seed about this Corona crazy. Corona crazy and how to position yourself to power. Listen, I am just super excited for Eugene Burton to come on after Charles. You see how this is flowing, right? Yes. And see, now, even though you were talking about, yourself and chaos and this crazy in the world that we're in, but we also have to remember about self. We also have to remember to position ourselves, right? That's where Wendy comes in at. That's where Wendy Harris comes in at, all the way from right outside of Detroit, Michigan. I can't wait. She is a ball of sunshine, you guys. Let me tell you, you're in for a treat for everybody. So that's what will be your next speaker after you hear from Eugenia. Then we're going to figure out, following Wendy, how to bridge the gap. How to bridge the gap in between, your mindset, where you position yourself with your family, with the church, or whatever, your spirituality, with your business, how to bridge that gap. Because that takes a lot of mental fortitude to figure out how to bridge that gap. That way you represent yourself. You are the same person no matter where you end up on that spectrum. Because a lot of times we have a hat for this area, we have a hat for that area, we have a hat for this area. And granted, yes, do each space has its own heartbeat? Yes. However, the common thread should always be you. You should show up the same. You should show up the same Carolyn. You should show up the same Tanisha. You should show up the same Yolanda. You should show up the same Monique. And no matter what arena, what circle that you're in, you should show up as that. And that's where we're going to get that information from Bridget, coming all the way to you from, I drew a blank. I'm about to say Wendy, because Wendy's going to touch on some of that too. But Bridget's going to really pull that all together. And then, God willing, we will have Shirley went all the way from Hong Kong, China. Like, can I tell you, I am uberly honored and excited for her to grace us with us. So once again, she will be coming live. We're going to pray that everything goes well and she's able to join us, because she's on the other side of the world and she has committed herself to be here for us, to give us, to help us go from victimhood to victory to a vision. And there's a race that has to be made in that process, and what you have to do to position yourself mentally to go from this place of victimhood while we're in this chaos, to go from, victimhood while we're in all this corona crazy, right? To go from victimhood when we're like not feeling great about ourselves, to go from victimhood when we are trying to figure out how we position ourselves in all the different arenas that we have to do all these different hats, as mom, as caretaker, as teacher, as business person, as, you follow what I'm saying? That's where the victimhood comes in at, because we're like, oh no, we have all these things. See, but then you can get to a point, once you figure your mindset out, then you can go into victory. And then as you're now, it's like, okay, I'm victorious. And that's great. See, but then where's the vision? You got to have a vision. You have to have a vision for this greatness. So that's what we hope and plan, that you will get these seeds today to position yourself, that when we do come out of this corona crazy, right? When we do come out of all this chaos, when we do come out of it, you will be, listen, I did a workshop I heard was on with Les Brown last week or 2 weeks ago. And he said, out of all of this, now you could take it literally, or you could just kind of just get the concept of what he's saying. He said there's going to be one of three people when we're all over. What's going to come out of this is going to be one of three types of people. There's going to be millionaires, billionaires, and spectators. You choose which one you want to be. Now, granted, billionaires and millionaires doesn't necessarily always mean a monetary thing. You got to catch the message behind the message. So are you going to do something to position yourself, right, for your own greatness, whatever that may be, or are you going to be a spectator? I know that may not have sit well with somebody, but that's okay. But because that didn't sit well with me either. But I'm choosing. Right? It's a choice. And that's what happens up here. It's a choice. And it all starts up here as a choice. So now let me see if I can get this to play properly before we bring Sir Charles up for you here this afternoon, this morning, this evening, wherever you're at in the world watching. We're live right now on YouTube. I was about to say Facebook. YouTube. Okay. So, we got some more comments on here. So let's see what is going on. Let me see. All right. So I am going to, hey, you know what? Let's see. Where is Allegra? Allegra. Hey, you want to talk to the people real quick and tell them read off some of these comments? Hey, Allegra. We got to unmute you. Got to unmute your mic. There you go.
Hey,
I see some comments going on. Tell everybody what's going on with these comments.
I'm telling you, everybody is extremely excited. They are celebrating. They are saying things like international is where it's at. So excited and ready for the lineup. They are excited about these speakers. I'm excited about these speakers. And I tell you what, how many of y'all gonna be on that billionaire list with me? Let's get at it.
Girl, you don't even know.
I'm telling you.
I'm trying to tell you, this thing is this is like bananas. That's all I can say is bananas. It's like, how they say, stupid fresh.
Stupid fresh.
It's
Exactly.
stupid fresh. It's stupid dope, stupid fresh, all that good stuff. I'm gonna see if I can get this to share now. I don't know what's popping up. What's popping? All right. Okay. Y'all seeing everything right now, but that's okay. Because I need to make sure this thing play. So if it has to play this way, then that's how it's gonna play. Because sometimes things get stuck. Let's see. I'm gonna try this. See what happened? Oh, okay. Let's see if it'll play.
Welcome. My name is Steve Legacy, and welcome to Carolyn Wilson Virtual Conference, Virtually You, brought to you by Magnify Your Essence. And I'm excited. Why? Because the time is now. I want you to get your pen and your notebook ready. Take down these notes so you can help manifest your mind to the next level. And like I always say, own the day and beat you yesterday. Come on, let's get it.
Oh, shucks now. Okay, y'all heard him, right? That's Steve the Legacy. He said, get your pen, get your paper, get ready. Let's go. Let's go, Sir Charles. I'm looking at you backstage. You ready? Give me thumbs up. Okay, y'all ready? So bring into the stage. We have none other than Charles Mills coming to you all the way from Florida, y'all, who's going to bring us a strategic leadership strategic way. And he's going to tell you of how to position yourself in all of this chaos. So without further ado, I'm going to bring to you Sir Charles.
Holla at me. Can everybody hear? Can you hear me, cuz? Can you hear me? That's what I'm talking about. So welcome. But let me first start off by saying what an honor and a pleasure it is to be with all of you from all over the world as you do what you do, and of course, gaining that knowledge of making sure that you're navigating through life with this thing called leadership. Now, again, let me go ahead and give a little bit of something that, and I appreciate my darling cousin, Carolyn Wilson, and all of her excitement and all that's been going on about, and I appreciate that wonderful introduction. But I know that she has a lot going on, and I put this on me because I did not accurately place that on my bio, but I am still serving the United States in the current status as a colonel in the United States Army. But I'm on my way to retirement next year, but I'm still currently serving at the United States Special Operations Command here in Tampa, Florida at MacDill Air Force Base. So what an honor and a pleasure once again. And I appreciate the opportunity, my dear cousin, to speak to your crowd, to speak to your people, to speak to those all around the world with respect to how we get after this thing called strategic leadership in chaos. And what does that mean to us here in the future? Well, I was once told before, as I was going through, I'm still continuing my journey, that you aren't leading, Charles, unless you're in a perpetual state of uncomfortability. And I'll say that again. You're not leading unless you're in a perpetual state of uncomfortability. So we went into a discourse on that. So what does that mean, sir? What are you trying to convey to me as I continue my journey some years ago on what that actually means? So as we move forward in our discourse, there were some things that he talked about with respect to leadership. Now, in my career, and I've 35 years plus serving in uniform. Yes, 35 years. And I will tell you, every single step, every opportunity associated with what we do as being leaders has to deal with what we call people. And I think that's what begun our discourse over the years, because he's still my mentor on how we get after this business to make sure that we understand this thing called organizational leadership as well as individual leadership, and how they all come together in order to formulate and getting after the challenges associated with strategic leadership. So I would like to go forward with couching my comments centered around what I would call, how heavy is your weight? Two ways, weight, W-E-I-G-H-T and W-A-I-T. I say again, how heavy is your weight in your journey in becoming that strategic leader that you see yourself with respect to the vision that you prepared? So how I would like to go forward in our discourse here is, first, I want to talk about, the operational environment of leadership. What does that mean to you as the leader in your specific discourse? as well as with the people that you have and the people that you serve, and to include those that you are serving for, your bosses, those CEOs, these CFOs. Now I'm talking a little bit of business here, but I'm also considering everything, all aspects of leadership, whether it be military, private, or within the public sector. So that's how I want to begin the discussion. Then I'm going to move on to a little bit about talking about a guy called H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells, and for those that I know that you probably have heard of him, you know, he's a guy that's written The Time Machine, but I'll go into a little bit about some certain quotes that will lead us down this path on what strategic leadership in chaos, and arming you with the tools or some thoughts that will highlight some areas in order to get after what you're trying to achieve. And then last but not least, I want to wrap it up with some discussions on some thoughts from Tony Dungy. And of course, for those that do know that Tony Dungy was, again, a wonderful coach within the NFL. He served with the Indianapolis Colts as well as, you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here where I'm currently residing. But some of the words, as I talk to you about how I look at leadership from a business aspect, from a military aspect, and from a spiritual aspect, and how they're all intertwined to do what we need to do in order to navigate in these critical times in this place called chaos, to help us manage through how we get after our business. So this strategic leadership in chaos piece, what does that mean? And how do we understand that? Well, I'll tell you, if you don't understand your operational environment, I'm using military terms here, and I'll couch that further as we move along within our discussion. What does that mean? Understanding your operational environment. Well, again, as I alluded to earlier, with respect to the portion of individual as well as organizational leadership, what we got to understand is, first, understand who you are in yourself. Understand thyself first. So again, what does that mean? Well, most of us, it's hard to look ourselves in the mirror and talk about our weaknesses as well as our strengths. In particular, you know, we'll talk about our strengths and we'll harp on those. We'll leap on those. We'll make sure that we're advancing them as much as possible. But we as people, it's all human nature. We have an issue with dealing with our weaknesses. We got to understand that, and we got to know that. How do we prepare amongst a team or amongst team members, whether it be small or large? And how do you communicate vision as well as purpose, and then give them the tools necessary in order to execute those within the current environment? Now, again, I'm going to talk about three portions of the environment that we're discussing here today. First being yourself. If you don't understand yourself, how you communicate with folks, how do you make sure that you prepare a vision as well as a purpose so that the tools necessary that they believe in you, which I'm now going into the people that you're serving. How do you do that? How do you communicate that effectively? How do you create the power and the speed of trust between you yourself, making sure that you are being transparent as a leader, who I am, what I am, where I sit, where I don't sit, what I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with, and how will I need help along the way? So, and when you understand yourself and you're comfortable with discussing and living with both your strengths and weaknesses, and you've actually gone into your own personal study about yourself, then you get into the business of understanding the people that you are serving for. Yes, strategic leadership. You both serve for your people and you lead them at the same time. That is something that I've used quite often in my journey as a company commander way back some years ago, as a battalion commander. And again, I know we're going from, I'm going to use civilian terms here. A company commander is equivalent of like a squad. You're down there in the business of making things happen. Going up into battalion, you're more of like in the managerial piece, what you're doing, larger scope of responsibility, more folks that you're responsible for, to include going into what the Army calls brigade type leadership, where you're really into the business that you're oriented on, being that you either are part of the CFO, the CEO, an assistant to the CEO himself, things of that magnitude, which as you progress within your career. So, but what's most important is when it comes down to this business of leadership, in particular when it comes to the Army, the common denominator of it all is understanding your people. And it's not just the individual or the individuals themselves. It's all networked within families. If you understand who your people are, what their strengths, their weaknesses are, what empowers them, what gets them up in the morning, what motivates them to do what they do, once you tap into that, once you give them a voice, once you hear them, give them time to provide input to that vision as well as that purpose that I talked about earlier. Once you've done that, it gives them the voice and the power in order to enable the vision that you set forward. Now, going back to the people, it's all networked and it's all a system. Now, most folks, would come from a family. So if you have, let's use a vignette here for just 1 second. If you have someone that comes into your organization and there's issues at home, now you could say, all right, he or she would do well under those current conditions, but we can probably all agree that if there's problems at home, it makes it difficult for anyone to function at a high efficiency in order to achieve the vision that we've already talked about. So you got to consider all of that. Their families. Okay, what gets them up in the morning? What wakes them up at night? Who are their families? How many children do they have? Where are they from? Having those types of discussions with those key folks that are going to get after that vision as well as that purpose is quite important. Again, we're talking about understanding our environment. We talked about ourselves, our individual selves. We talked about the collective, being that we're understanding the people that we're serving for and serving with. Now, the last piece of understanding our environment is understanding who our bosses are. Who do we serve? What is nested within our own vision? Is our vision nested in adequately and appropriately with the vision of our higher headquarters, or of course the leader, the CEO, the CFO of the organization? We have to think about all those things. How do we aspire? How do we communicate effectively to make sure that we are meeting the needs as well as the vision of those that we work for? How are we communicating with them? And now let's talk a little bit about communication. I tell this to most folks when I counsel in most cases, is that communication is a two-way street. There's the transmission as well as the reception. And if there's one that's missing, then there's no communication at all. It's the transmission as well as the reception of that. So if I'm transmitting and you're just, what is he talking about? And your mind's either on the Real Lives of Atlanta, or whatever, and I'm not communicating effectively to you, you have no interest, we've not communicated. In particular, when it comes to the communication of vision. Just one example, just one vignette that I like to share. So as we revisit those three items associated with who we are, what we do with respect to ourselves, the people that we serve, and then of course the folks that we are serving, we have to understand that environment to make sure that we can properly go towards a vision and a purpose, which then gets after how I want to wrap this up here shortly. And how heavy is your weight? How heavy is your weight? If leadership is a perpetual state of uncomfortability, which means every time you sit in the seat, every time that you sit down in whatever position that you're serving, it doesn't matter. Wherever you're sitting, if you are not uncomfortable, again, this is, you may agree with me or not agree with me, but if you're not uncomfortable, then you're not leading. You're not making the difference. You're not sitting in order to shake and be catalyst of change in order to make things for the better. So that's how I want to work through this as we move on into and we segue into H.G. Wells. So understanding our environment, we create a vision. How heavy is your weight in your journey? That's W-E-I-G-H-T and W-A-I-T. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. So H.G. Wells, this guy born in 1866 and he passed in 1946. You know, he talked a lot about science. He wrote a lot about science, one of the most prolific writers of our time. And these, just listen to some of the books and the titles that he's written. And remember, he was born in 1866 and passed in 1946. And here we go. The Time Machine, The Invisible Man, War of the Worlds, The Land of Dr. Moreau, The Island of Dr. Moreau, and of course, one of my favorites, The First Men in the Moon. Now think about that. We didn't have anyone even step foot on the moon, or we didn't start thinking about getting towards the moon until the late 50s and the early 60s. And he's writing, H.G. Wells is writing about the island of Dr. Moreau, the Time Machine. So why do I mention H.G. Wells? Well, H.G. Wells was a man before his time. In times of chaos, World War I, World War II, he's seen that. He's seen it. He's seen some applications of the plague and how it's affected societies, communities. He's lived through all that. He's encompassed all that, and yet he's able to envision or vision something like the time machine back in the 1940s. He's able to talk about, he's able to envision the first men in the moon. What is that? How does someone get there? Well, let's talk about a few of the quotes I want to share with you that may lead you or provide you tools as you move forward. The first I'd like to share with you is, in these times, and we're all living in these times, we got coronavirus. We're living in times of war. We're living in times of racial disparity, whether it be color, creed, as well as religions. And then, of course, all of that affects the inner sanctum of what strategic leadership is all about. The chaos, how do you manage that? Well, the first thing I like to share, first words I'd like to share with you from H.G. Wells is, he says this, number one, and I'll cover four. He says, adapt or perish. Now as ever is nature's inexorable imperative. Adapt or perish. So what does this mean, Mr. Mills? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Well, you see what's taking place right now. We're not, haphazardly, even though it happens now, which is pretty frustrating in some terms, of having large gatherings, having functions. For example, as Sister Carolyn Wilson just discussed, we're not together in a forum or in a conference as we've known in the past. We're not in any basketball games. We're not in any football games. It's very tough to even watch a basketball game, but on television, but there's yet specific individuals that are able to get in only due to the fact that they created conditions in order to make sure that that happens. So in this time of challenge, in this time of pandemic, in this time of, yes, there's economic strife and toil that's taking place. There's uncertainty. We don't know where we're going. We don't know how long this is going to last. We have folks right now that are afraid because they don't know where they'll be living in the next week or what food they'll be receiving in the next day. So how do we reach them? As strategic leaders in your seats, how do you reach them? He says, adapt or perish. Well, you first, again, have to understand, as I've mentioned before, your operational environment, and then the vision that you placed forth within your communities. How do I reach folks that are less apt to be able to either read, go to classes, who are uncomfortable to do or teach because of the current conditions right now? How do we make life better under these conditions? How do I define the problem sets that are out there in order to make sure that I'm meeting the needs? So when H.G. Wells says adapt or perish, what he's saying is you can't do the same things that you did before in the current conditions. Or let me use it metaphorically, I'll say you can't pour new wine in old lambskin. And for those who are not familiar, if you do that, then the lambskin breaks because it won't be able to, because of the toxicity of the wines. So you got to bring in some newness. You got to use some ingenuity. You got to make sure that you're not running the same race on a different track. The same race on a different track. So number two, H.G. Wells says this: history is a race between education and catastrophe. A race between education and catastrophe. So what does that mean? Well, let me share a quote with you from Eric Hoffer. Let me see if I can dig deeper into this. And Eric Hoffer says this: in times of change, he says, the learners will inherit the earth while the knowers will find themselves adequately prepared for a world that no longer exists. The learners will inherit the earth while the knowers, I know everything. I've done this before. I've been living 50 years. I've seen all this before. I don't have to go through any classes. I don't need any more education. I don't need to know any more about this coronavirus because I see it on whatever news network and I trust that, or a newspaper. The learners will inherit the earth, understanding your environment, moving forward, adapting and changing, which goes into the third point that H.G. Wells states. If you fell down yesterday, you just get up today. You fell down. You understand. You bumped into the things. You've had a vision. Oh, I'm trying to understand or frame this problem right. I'm adapting the best way that I can. I understand. I'm learning. I'm seeing what's going on around me. I got the education. I'm putting that into practical application. And after all that's said and done, I still didn't get it right. But you get up again the next day and try again, which goes into the last point that H.G. Wells mentions. He says this: And I love this one. The path of least resistance is the path of the loser. Least resistance. Get these, just a hammer and nail. Easy point. Just, hey, no, I don't like that. Fire everybody and we'll get somebody new. Let's do that. No, just cut the whole division, even though it's a part of the entire vision in order to make sure that we're meeting our purpose, but just cut it out. That's the easy button. Yeah, press the easy button, no matter who you hurt, no matter who you've contacted, no matter all the connections with families, friends, and of course, those that are strategically placed around you to be successful, cut them. We don't need it anymore. Don't need it anymore. Just move on. It's all about, I got this. It's about, I'm still good. I'm still good. So, as we talked about our environment, yourself, your teammates, and those that you work for, moving on and understanding that, then moving on into H.G. Wells and adapting and, making sure that we're not perishing, understanding the difference between education and catastrophe, and understanding how important it is to be a key learner. When you fall down, you get back up. And then last but not least, that path may be a little bit difficult. The decision I need to make is gonna be tough. But as I look through this strategically in the future, I'm getting after what I need to get after. So I ask you all today as I close up, how heavy is your weight? Yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot happening. It's scary. It's unknown. But how heavy is your weight? But on the flip side of that, the Jesus, Jesus, God, Christ, when you wait on him, all things are possible. In all things, with him, are possible. So as you look at those two dichotomies there, the weight as well as the weight, I want to leave you with some words from Tony Dungy that I hope this will set in your spirit. And of course, he's won a Super Bowl. He's lost family members, children. He's gone through some strife during the seasons, and yet, sticking to the fundamentals, that has been his basic motive, his modus operandi for quite some time, which has made him successful. And now he's touching many lives, men's lives, and helping us to understand how to be good mentors and men for our families as well as our communities. And Tony Dungy says this in his one of my favorite books from him, which is Quiet Strength. I'm just going to share a few words with you. And Tony Dungy says this: touching lives, building a legacy, not necessarily on the field, but in those places that most people will never see, trying to be faithful in the position God has given me. I love coaching football, strategic leader. And winning a Super Bowl was a goal I've had for a long time. And then he says this: but it has never been my purpose in life. My purpose in life is simply to glorify God. We have to be careful that we don't let the pursuit of our life's goals, no matter how important they may seem, because us to lose sight of our purpose is a tragedy. I coach football, but the good I can do to glorify God along the way is my real purpose. I want to help people see the path of eternal life through Christ, to enjoy an abundant life now, and to fulfill their God-given purposes here. We are all role models to someone in this world, and we can all have an impact for good. With everything that's going on, my people, from all around the world, when you sit and you're in that perpetual state of uncomfortability, it's not about you. Your testimony is not about you, it's for somebody else to give. No matter how much money you make, no matter where you're sitting, and whether, no matter what that is, that you are here for a purpose, for uplifting those that need the help that's needed. So you are in your weight with Christ, and how heavy your weight is in your perpetual state of uncomfortability, and then your weight with him. Just remember that how you serve yourself, how you serve your family, how you serve your communities in those strategic positions. No matter the chaos, you manage it. And what's most important, as Tony Dungy so eloquently articulated, that you We are about the business of kingdom building and not building dumb kings. I thank you and I appreciate that. I hope I prepared you and gave you a little bit of tools to move forward and be excited about the kingdom building and getting to your vision, knowing who is in charge when you WAIT. Wait. Thank you.
Whoa! Yes! Come on, can we get a hand clap? Man, I wish I had like a button to be like, ah, the hand claps. Whoa, cousin. I had no idea. Like, see, I can say this, cousin, right? I had no idea. You just dropped the hammer on us. Like, that's thank you.
No, it was my pleasure, and I appreciate the opportunity. And thank you so much to reach your audience and just to share some words from this military guy that's been in uniform for a long time, but just to let everyone know that there's a whole lot of education and a whole lot of opportunities that I've been blessed with, but they don't belong to me. I'm thankful that I'm still living and that I'm able to share with your audience a little bit of my story and a little bit of the passion when it comes down to kingdom building.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sitting here looking at some of these comments on here. I know because you've been kind of just going at it, and I'm trying to see. Let's see. I can bring Allegra. Allegra, what kind of questions was, because she's kind of like one of our moderators going on right now. Like what were people saying? Like let's see. I gotta find her. Hold up, wait a minute, because we got so many people backstage. Backstage is popping. I see you, Gina. You ready, boo? I see you. Yes. All right. So, Allegra, what has been happening? What? Tell us about these comments. Like, what's going on?
I mean, what an amazing message, and I think everyone was so inspired. I personally am so excited about the charge that you gave us as leaders. I mean, and I think that resonated with the comments that were here. So powerful, amazing. I think it is such an honor to be able to be a leader. And so I thought, and I think that resonated with the comments as well, that to serve is what we do as leaders best. And we have to position ourselves there. Oh, you charged us up today. You made me want to go to work tomorrow. And as an entrepreneur, I feel like I can do it all in 24 hours. Okay? But thank you so much. I think that resonated with those that were under your voice. Thank you so much. What a charge that was for us to step up in this time of pandemic, but yet a time of growth and power and movement.
Amen. That's it. That's what's up.
That's it. The power. Awesome words of wisdom. Teresa Ford. Josie said, wow, what's going on, Josie? Wow, what an inspiration session, Mr. Mills. Like, you got some hand claps. You got, it's not about you. It's what's your purpose. Powerful. Like, see, here's the thing. No matter, Andrea from Hampton Mills, she said, no matter heavy load, with the right tools and wait on God, you can carry it. So adapt or perish. Like, wait a minute, like they were going in. Wait a second. Yeah. So here's the thing, Charles. Here's the thing. See, and this is why. So if people got to like read through the lines the way I'm weaving this tapestry. See, you see how I had to lead it, right? See how it had to be led, right?
I understand.
Like women, we got our superpower going on. We know. Sometimes we have to have that kind of superpower. Like, we don't have to always have the with the cape blowing. We don't have to always. You see, I had to bring my little flower today. Had to soften this up a little bit, but we can still stand in our power, right? We can still stand in our power. We can still stand in our power when we have someone like Charles leading us. You see what I'm saying, ladies?
Thank you.
See what I'm saying? So this is all part of it. We can still stand within our truth. We can still stand within our power. But this is why whenever I have a gentleman that's on my panel, if anything, I attempt to make him lead first, even if it's not the very first speaker, but whatever segment is happening, he has to lead it. He has to lead it. So I need someone to pick up what I'm dropping. He has to lead it. And you heard what he gave us, right? He gave us some practical tools, and it had no gender basis to it. As Bridget say, I picked up what you just dropped. I picked up what you just dropped. But yeah, so I don't know if there's anybody else that had any other comments or something or whatever, but I'm just so excited. So like I see some familiar names on here. We got people that's joining from around the world, from different groups that I'm part of. And I'm so thankful to everyone who's coming on board. And thank you. But I am going to just so thank you, Allegra. We're going to check back with Allegra. She's kind of like our Vanna White, y'all. We're going to check back with her in a little bit. So we're going to see you in a second. So we're going to send you backstage. We see you in a little bit.
All right.
So Charles, thank you once again. Thank you once again, for just bringing your knowledge, bringing your expertise, bringing yourself, right? Just bringing your authentic, true, genuine self. And I think that's what, it's not, I know that's what a lot of us needed to see. A lot of us needed to hear, including myself. So from, every fiber of my being, and I'm probably going to repeat this to everybody, but I'm just being genuine. I had no clue what message you were going to bring. That just jumped out at me, and I said, that's what it's got to be. And listen, and you brought it. Like I said, the hammer came down, mic was dropped, standing ovation.
Well, I'm here to serve and know that I believe in servant leadership. There's again, I traverse between Christian, business, and military leadership principles, as well as folks that have written about that. And I will tell you, I claim to be a servant leadership, do the best that I can to serve, but at the same time, be technically as well as tactically proficient. That's important as well. We can't now, and I'll share this. Now, most people, let's just say it. Most folks, they'll want the position,
right?
Sister Carol, they want the position. They want the money. They want to put their hands on their sides, like I'm the boss. But they don't want the calamities as well as the problems that come with it. They don't want the responsibilities. They don't want to hold themselves accountable. They just want the money in the position, and they want to look good, put their picture on a nice little pedestal there. This is me. I'm the boss. But yet there's an accountability associated with that. So I just want to share that with your viewers as well. It's important. Servant leadership, that's just me. Now, there's many other types of leadership, coercive leadership. It brings about certain results, et cetera, et cetera. But the power in servant leadership, when it's tied to the GOD in purpose, and it's greater than yourself, it just brings about that much more power.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much. Be blessed. And I hope you stay with us, for the rest of this afternoon and kind of talk with some people on YouTube. So if you guys have any questions for him, he will be on there chatting with you live and in person. So thank you so much for bringing us this message.
Most welcome. Bless you.
Awesome. You're quite welcome. All right. Okay, you guys. So listen, if I didn't get to tell you, I know some people jumped on later and we have, wait a minute, what's happening? I'm trying to do a couple things back here. So you notice I have a hashtag. So if you guys if you screenshot some stuff, or if you like what you're hearing, go on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever you're at, and just kind of shout us out saying, hey, you guys are missing something. This thing is on fire. Yeah, I said fire. Yeah, I did. I said fire. So listen, once again, welcome to this conference, right? It's the 6th annual Celebrating You Women's Conference. I mean, this thing is just amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's like that's I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. See, I'm trying to get you ready. I see you back there, Dan said, I see you. I see you, Gina. That's right. I'm so excited. Cause everybody just come on. We just can't hide it. Like everybody, come on, y'all. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like where this is going. Right? I like Charles just set the tone. I'm just so hyped. We got, I told you, have you ever been to a conference that came from Roger? And then you heard from Steve. He said, get your pen, get your notebook. They dropping some stuff for you guys. I'm trying to tell you, they are dropping these nuggets of 100,000%. So we just heard from Sir Charles. Yes, we did. So you know who's about to come up next. Man, let me tell you. This ray of sunshine right here. Let me tell you about this sweetheart right here. She is coming to us all the way from across the pond, you guys. It's the pond. It's not the ocean, right? Am I right? It's the pond. Okay, see, she's saying yes. So I have the words correctly. So when you're dealing with international folks, you have to be able to talk internationally. Yes. So I'm so excited to bring this beauty to us. Let me tell you, get ready. You ready? Let me see in the comments. You guys ready? You ready for her? Are you ready? Sir, are you ready? I don't see. They not ready, Eugene. I'm not seeing them. Tell them they not ready. They not ready. I want to see y'all ready. Are you guys? Listen, Linda. Somebody out there named Linda. She's live with us from the UK, you guys. Not from around the corner. She's all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, you guys. It's like it's nighttime. It's almost tomorrow. I don't see ready. Who's ready? I know I'm ready. Okay, so ready or not? See, Ira will be a forever student. Okay, you ready, boo? Here we go. Let's get ready to rumble. Here we go.
Well, hello from London. It is it's 9 p.m. or just after 9 p.m. at night, heading up to my bedtime, but I'm here and I'm so excited that I could be here with you. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for inviting me. I really appreciate that. So my presentation today is called, just a minute, let me just close that. Okay, so my presentation today is called From Corona Crazy to Power Position. Now, let's take you back to the beginning of the year. 2020 was supposed to be my year. And it was the year of perfect vision. And oh boy, did I have a vision. I had amazing plans. I was going to go to amazing places. I was going to do amazing things. But as you know, the C word kind of had a different plan. So Monday, the 23rd of March was the day that the UK went into lockdown. Now, we knew it was coming because like about a week before, the shelves were empty. There was no toilet paper, and I'm still trying to figure out why. And personally, I lost a few contracts. And, you know, when we had lockdown, everything was shut, nobody could come out, all of that kind of stuff. And you know what? I am a change embracer. I embrace change. And I was excited because, you know what, I work from home anyway, right? And so being at home and stuck at home was not really a problem for me. And also what the lockdown had done is it actually brought my son back home to stay, which was such a blessing. And yeah, I was really, really excited about what is going to happen because this has never happened before. So I realized that not everybody thought the way I did. And in the UK, and I'm pretty sure the figures are around the same in the US as well, We had more than 2/3 of adults in the UK, which is 69%, reported feeling somewhat worried about the effect that COVID-19 would have on their life. And the most common issues were people were worried. 63% of people were worried about the future. 56% felt stressed and anxious, and 49% felt bored. So how were you when it all happened, when it all went down? How did you feel? How did you cope? Did you cope? Did you go into panic mode? Or were you like me and got excited because this is like a unique opportunity in a lifetime? It never happened before. How did you handle it? So just stick a pin in that for a moment and let's flash back to February 2019. Now, 2019 was supposed to be my year. It was, I mean, I looked great. I felt great. My business was about to explode. Everything was working just as I had anticipated it to work. But things kind of went a little crazy. Let me explain why. One thing that I absolutely, totally loved when I was younger was basketball. Basketball was my life. And I know some of you know what that means. I had my Michael Jordan picture flying through the air up on my wall. I used to wear just basketball jerseys and shorts and basketball trainers or boots or sneakers all the time. I had everything. And I played competitively, and I also played for the county as well. So I loved it. I was into it. I was pretty good. And when I moved to London, I born and bred about 100 miles north of here. I'm in London. And I struggled to find a team. And really, my basketball just went to pot, really. But last year, February last year, I was feeling so fit and healthy and strong. I thought, you know what? I'm going to go and play basketball again. And I found a team, played on a Monday night, and I went down there. And, you know, I was a little bit late, did my warm up, and I went and started playing with them. And I'm telling you, 40 minutes, it was like I was 25 again. I was like laying up, I was shooting, I was just defending, I was doing everything. I thought, I am back, and every Monday, this is where you'll find me. I'm going to be playing basketball again. Can't wait. Love basketball. I need to buy some new basketball boots. And we were playing a game, and the ball was out of court, and I was defending. And all of a sudden, I felt somebody kick me at the back of my leg. And I'm thinking, who's kicking me? So I turned around, nobody was there. And the pain was there. So I was on the floor and I felt the back of my leg. And my Achilles, which is the tendon that attaches the calf to the heel, was gone. And I knew then that I was in trouble, right? But being the change embracer that I am, I got kind of excited. And as I went to the hospital, I was laughing and joking with the nurses, because I was in a wheelchair. Everything was kind of cool. Until it was time for me to leave. And that's when I realized that I couldn't walk. I had 2 crutches, and my husband had gone to get the car, and I was walking towards the main entrance, and I realized that this actually is no joke. This is serious. And with me not walking, then that meant that my business, which at the time I was doing a lot of personal training. I was doing a lot of teaching fitness classes, Zumba, and all of that. And that just had to stop because I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And so what happened was, over the course of the next few months, it seemed like I became my own client. I turned into the kind of woman that I helped. So as well as teaching fitness, I also coached women who are in their 40s and early 50s to be 50 and fly, to be fabulous, to be amazing in their 50s. Now, I just turned 54 a couple of months ago, and so I know how to survive in your 50s. And but I realized that I'd put on a lot of weight, which I'd never been that size before. My mindset had kind of become stuck, and I found myself in a position where, yeah, I was this very same person that I, as a coach, helped. And it was actually Easter Sunday when I was sitting in the parks. It was a really hot day last Easter. And I was on my own because my husband had an emergency, he had to leave, and I wasn't going to leave the sunshine to go and sit in the house. So I stayed there on my own. And as I sat there, and by then I wasn't wearing the cast, I was wearing a boot, a big moon boot. That was off so I could get some sun on my legs. And I'm sitting there, and I suddenly felt really, really vulnerable. And like, anyone could come at any time and I wouldn't be able to run after them. And I decided that, you know what, I don't like this feeling and something has to change. So when I got home, what I did is, now up until now, I'd just been wearing my left shoe, trainers or whatever. And I decided to put on my right shoe with my left shoe. And I took my first step, which I hadn't taken for a long time, and except for in the boot. And it just was kind of weird, but it felt good. And really, that was it. I was just, every time I was home, I'd put on my shoes and I would walk. And after that, I just didn't stop. And I soon realized that that experience put me into a position of power. Now, let me just explain what a power position is. So, a power position it's a concept from, well, it's two things. One, it's a concept from Feng Shui. It's the physical position that you hold in a room. So, say you're in a business meeting on a table, and a conference table, and you are sitting in what they call the position of power. Nothing is going on behind you. Everything is happening in front of you. So you can see the whole room. And so when you speak, people take notice and they listen because you are in that position of power just from where you're sitting. Number two, the power position is the most important position in Olympic weightlifting, and particularly when you're doing the snatch, clean and jerk. Now, if it's done correctly, then you can maximize the ability to generate a great explosion of the power that you need to complete the lift. Now, this is what I want you to pay close attention to. So the power position gives you three things. Number one, it gives you the most control of your center of gravity to optimize the force applied to the bar. The most control. Number two, it allows you to be in the best position to jump. Best position to jump. Number three, it prepares you to land in the best receiving position that follows the power position. So it could be like the overhead squat or the front squat from here, right? The best receiving position. Hold those thoughts. I'm going to come back to those at the end. Now, my power position was that I could now relate even more to my potential clients. You see, as that coach of women in their 40s and 50s, and trying to get them to go from unstuck to fly, unstuck to fabulous, unstuck to awesome, it's like that's exactly where I was. And so women who were stuck, who were 50 but not feeling fabulous, wondering what happened to them, what happened to their body, what happened to their dreams, realizing that their role in the family had changed, that the kids don't rely on them as much anymore. Maybe the kids have gone off to college. Even, their work and how they feel and their position at work has changed. And they're looking at the next level and next phase of their life. And to them, it's looking bleak. That's who I help. And that is who I felt that I'd become. But because of that, I was in a unique position to now understand what they're going through more. And I could use the same language because I knew what it felt like. Just giving up and just accepting my new shape, because it was just much easier than making the effort to change. And I felt that anxiety that, that I had just before a social event that I knew was happening, but I had nothing to wear, nothing fit me. So I knew that I could resonate more with my potential clients, and I could reach these women more now because I, through my adversity, was now in a power position. Okay, let's go back now to this year, 2020. So I could see, as the lockdown was going on, what my friends were posting and commenting on social media. And I realized that I didn't actually think like they did. I mean, I wasn't fearful, I was excited, and I could see the opportunity. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in a position of power here, because people are kind of fearful, and they're not kind of looking forward to, or they don't see the positivity in this crisis. And so I created my power position, and I decided that I was going to carefully guide women through the lockdown as best as I could. And what I actually did is I started slumber parties on Zoom, where women could just come it was every 2 weeks, now it's every month. They can come to my slumber party online, and we have fun. We forget about the C words, and we play some games, meet each other, and have a little chat as well. Now, every one of you out there that's listening can find your power position. And if you can't find it, you can create your own power position, and you can lead from your power position, because people out there, they need strength. They need your strength. They need your resilience. They need your knowledge, your experience, and your joy. So what I want to do is just go through my top 3 things that you can do to find, create, and lead from your power position. Okay, are you ready? Number 1, give back. Give back your time. Give back your money. Give back your love. You know, show an act of kindness every day as much as you can. You don't have to be outside to do that. You can show that just by a phone call, a text even, and just tell somebody that, you know, you're thinking about them, that you're praying for them, that you love them. You can give back of your time just by going and helping in a food bank. You can obviously give back your money. There's so many charities where you can donate to. You could also show gratitude, and being grateful for where you are is so powerful. And recognizing that, you know what, there is always joy in everything that we go through. We always need to find where we can praise God for what he has brought us through, because, you know, he's never going to bring us through something that we can't handle. And also, I want you just to forget the past. Forget it. It's gone. And it's not coming back either. And one thing I noticed, and I have to say, sorry for those of you in the States, this is where I saw these videos, right? Of people early on demanding that we end the lockdown, that we open up the shops again, that, you know, I have a right to have a haircut. And how I saw that was, you know what? People are not used to change. They don't know how to navigate change. And this is something that we need to do, navigate change and look at it as a positive thing. Now, I've been through some changes in my life, from divorce to changing location to being made redundant and being laid off. And each of those times, it's like, okay, where's the blessing in this? What can I do with this? Let's move forward. The past is over. And particularly as over here, we're coming out of the lockdown a little bit, but we are actually, you know, not quite there yet, but we're not going to get back to how things were. So forget the past, look to the future, all right? And say yes, say yes, say yes to opportunities that come your way. And that power position will give you the best position to jump. Number 2, organize and plan your days, okay? Make a schedule of your day, but make sure when you plan in your days that you put in joy time. And that is time for you to spread joy to someone else. You know, you can send the text, you can call, you can get on a Zoom call, FaceTime them, and just bring some joy to somebody. But also, very important, you need to focus on you first. Now, remember, when you are on a plane, remember those days? You're on a plane and they say, with the oxygen mask, you put one on yourself first before you put it on anybody else, including your child. You have to be taking care of yourself and make sure that you are able then to take care of others. If you are not healthy and strong, then that will impact every area of your life. So schedule your self-care days. Schedule, just even if it's like on a Monday night, I will have a bubble bath, or it will be my time. Schedule that. And also make sure that you do schedule your fitness as well, because look at it this way. When you take care of yourself in a healthy way, then you are not going to only feel better, but you're also going to make sure that you have your defenses up so you don't get the C word, okay? And that will give you, that power position will give you and put you in the best receiving position. Number 3, the last one, stop watching those videos. You know those videos I'm talking about. These are videos that people post and send on WhatsApp and all sorts. And it's basically conspiracy theories. Now, I'm not here to debate whether it's right or wrong, right? But what I'm saying is that focusing on that. I remember a friend of mine on Facebook, she was just posting relentlessly all these things. And you know, when you go on YouTube, you see one video and then it shows you all the others. And I could see the anxiety just building with each post. But not only that, you become boring and you become the bringer of doom. Don't be the bringer of doom, right? Now, look, it doesn't really matter if these theories are true or not. What you need to focus on is what you are going to do and your future. And that is dependent, or not dependent, but it doesn't depend on what may or may be happening. All right. And that also includes the Netflix binging. Let's just leave that alone as well. Your time is so precious. You need to value your time. You could use that time to be creating your future. You can use that time to get on a Zoom call and share a blessing with somebody. But that power position will give you the most control. All right, so listen, what is your power position? What are you going to look back at 2020 and say? Will it be the year of the great pandemic, or will it be the year that you took up your power position and became a leader? Now, I hope and pray that you find yourself in your power position and be able to serve your audience in a more powerful way. And I also wish for you this one last thing, just to remind you, 2 Timothy 1:7, just a little Bible text. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power. That's your power position. Of love. That's your best receiving position. And of a sound mind. And that is your power position that will give you the most control. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you again, CAROLYN. And just once again, my name's EUGENIE Burton, and hopefully you will find and create and lead from your power position.
Ooh, yes! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Power position. Just even the way you say it, your power position, your power position. I love your accent. You probably love mine too, but I just love it because it just has power in it, right? And I love the power. I love how we're matching in color too, right?
Oh, yes, it's true. We are.
The energy was already, that's right. The energy was already out there. Oh my gosh. Just like you'll see when Wendy comes on, we both see we're all in sync. We're all in sync. Our energy, it's all about our energy. It's all about how you position yourself. It's all about, you know, like you said, that power position in the midst of all of this crazy. Like I like you said, Corona crazy. Yeah, it's Corona crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cray cray. We say that over here. I don't know if y'all say it over there. We say it's cray cray all day.
Corona cray cray.
Corona cray cray. There you go. Corona cray cray. Oh my gosh, this was so stinking woo. That's all I can say is woo. Amazing. I was sitting here while you were going on. I went on live. I was telling people, listen, y'all missing out. Y'all got to get on. Like they dropped this little stuff. Like I can't even keep it all in. I can't keep this all in. People who know me, like, if I wish I could touch people, right? I mean, you know, not like that. Y'all know what I mean. I wish we was in a physical space, but you know what? It doesn't matter because energy shifts. Energy, it doesn't matter. You're going to feel it. Like we felt every single word that you said. Like it's like insane. So okay, we're going to bring, because I think there might have been some questions, some comments. So we're going to bring our Vanna back, you know, AKA Allegra. We're going to bring her back. Hey, give us a recap of what was going on. Can't hear you.
Mike is okay. Am I here now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hello, thank you so much. So we had a lot of comments, and thank you again for Corona. Crazy, the power position is unbelievable, and I think the great thing about it is we can all relate, no matter where we are, what we look like, what side of the world we're on. We can relate to Corona crazy right now, a way that, like, I think that we've never connected as people before. So first of all, people said you look amazing, and you certainly do. I need your book. I need
50
that
flights
exercise.
coming soon.
I'll be waiting for it. I think we all will. So true. Change can be challenging and make you question your position. Through adversity creates a change in the trajectory. And Monique commented that she totally gets it. She went through something similar. And she talked about how she had to wear that boot also. It wasn't
Yeah.
fun. And I was in a boot before too. So that seems like something that we've been through and we can definitely relate to. Changing your view on difficult times has been a challenge, but it definitely works. And thank you for the reminder to continue to do that. So one of the questions is, besides they love your British accent, my daughter
Oh,
doesn't
thank
even
you
sense
so
it.
much.
So one of the questions was, how do you not feel guilty about taking those times for yourself?
Yeah, it's a hard one really, because particularly when you have like as women, we are givers, right? So we give our time and our love, and we're always about helping other people. And that's, and I find that, we have women that are doing all of that until like the kids go, and it's like, oh, wait, now what? And then all the focus is on them. And, we have to kind of, it's all about changing our mindset. And Bob says, about he wants to change the way we think, and because doing something for ourselves is going to reap benefits in other people, because if we are strong, if we are healthy in our mind, then we can have the power and the strength to help other people.
Wow.
Otherwise, you know what I mean? We can't be helping the sick. It's like the sick can't be helping the sick. Well, they can, but you're not helping them at the best that you can. And so we have to take care of ourselves first. And, the guilt thing will go. It will go, right? You just have to keep going, schedule it, give yourself a date, a time, and that time is for you and no one else. And if something else comes up, sorry, no, I can't do it. I have a date with myself. And right. And the more you do it and the more you reap the benefits from it, then you will find that, this is something that I cannot live without. And with the self thing, it does come with, it is, I'm very much about, health in its, what word I'm looking for is totally gone, but health in terms of mind, body, spirit, right? And if you are healthy in all of what healthy means, your mind, your body, everything, then you are going to have more energy, you're going to be more happy, you're going to look at things differently, you'll be more positive, and all of that is going to be beneficial to the people around you.
I think that's awesome. And that holistic care is unbelievable.
Holistic, that was the
word. Yeah, there's nothing like
that. It boomerang back. It went to Australia and came back to you.
Yeah. That's something. That's a 50 in the 50s something. That's what happens when.
Yeah. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Well, thank you, Allegra. Thank you for breaking all that down for us, and we'll catch you back with the next one. So we're
Thank you
going
so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. Listen, you got love from Canada too, Josie. I mean, Josie from Canada is sending you love, Eugenie. So yeah, she's sending you
Which
some
part?
love.
Tell me which part of Canada.
All the way from Canada. So you got the Philly love, you got the North Carolina, you got all kinds of United States. So I mean, you dropped some nuggets where it was almost like an ouch when you talked about what you heard was going on here in the States when people were so worried about getting their hair did. Yeah, I was like, ouch. But you're so right, so true. Like, we gotta look at this, this bigger thing, and I'm so glad you're able to say, like, hey, listen, we're over here and we're still not getting it together, right? So that's I think that's what people need to really understand and get it, and then how we're positioning ourselves with mind, body, and spirit. Like, all this stuff just kind of coincides. This all goes. It's just like once again. And I don't want my hair probably will fall off. I don't know. I miss my hair. It was kind of like one of those, I'm a proponent. My daughter thinks it's so weird because I like a neat, messy bun.
Okay.
Like, a neat, messy bun.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know how that works, but it has to be messy, but it has to be neat.
Yeah. The mess is in place.
Exactly. So I literally had my hair up and I was about to go, redo it. And I was like, oh, this is messy, but it's a neat messy. I think I believe it. Hey, it's the little things. It's the little things. So, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I know you are like about ready to go to sleep in a second.
Yes. 20 minutes.
It's past all of our soon to bedtime, but once again, thank you so much for first and foremost, for just wanting to be part of this amazing, like, trailblazing type of thing here. Like, this brain, people who know me and now people start to understand and learn that I'm very unorthodox.
Okay.
Just long as you know that, just rock with it. Yeah. I don't follow the norm. I've never followed the norm.
I like that.
I'm out the box. I'm so out the box. The box isn't even on the box or near the box. That's how far out I'm in from the box. It's that crazy. So just like, this is just like I can't get my words together. My soul is on fire. That's all I can say. My soul is on fire. Like, and I just know everyone by reading these comments and everything that, like, the order could not have went perfectly. See how it was orchestrated, the way Spirit put it together. I just follow the instruction. I'm just a vessel, and I'm just following the instructions and the instructions how they're given to me. And then it just gets executed, and you have to trust, and you have to believe, and and I thank you from every fiber of my being for literally just saying, hey, sure, I'll do it, and just being patient, as things were coming together, and it's like, hey, okay, I'm ready, I'm here, and for you to stay up. So now I know I'm gonna have to do the same thing, and I might have to sacrifice and stay up, and one day when you have something. So
I'm glad you said that.
I had to throw that out there, right? I had to throw that out there. So
write that down.
Yeah, write that down. So, and then when I can get on the plane, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yeah. No,
so,
the weather's rubbish. Don't come here.
Listen, it'll be a new experience. I love having new experiences, but in the meantime, I get to experience vicariously through you. That's what I tell the people in my other group. So once again, we're barking into, like I said, we gotta let things flow. And I see Wendy back there. She's doing her jumping jack. She's doing her rock thing. Like, yes, I see her dancing backstage. She's ready. So we got to do some things to get hyped. So I know you're going to stay probably as long as you can, but if not, we understand. You got to go to bed and good night and get your beauty rest so you continue to look as gorgeous as you do. And you guys will have some information. Like, she's going to share some stuff. All the speakers are actually going to share a tidbit for you. They're going to give you something. So, but it's for those who registered. So if you didn't register, you can still do it. Just register so that way we have your email. We can send out the information so that way you can stay in touch with them. Because I'm pretty sure, I know something resonated with something to somebody today. So Eugene. No, is it Eugene or Eugene?
Eugenie. It's Eugenie. Eugenie.
Eugenie. See,
Yes, it's
I
French.
love her name. This doggone American. As my grandmother was German, right? And
Okay.
my grandmother was German. I mean, full blown German. So I know I just came out on the darker side of things. So, so she would always say that these Americans, because Germans have really harsh voices when they talk. And my grandmother would always say, these Americans always butcher my name, butcher. They butcher my name. Her name was
Oh.
Alfreda. It was Alfreda Julie, and it was Julia. Julia. She was like, it's Julia, not Julie, not because it's spelled like Julie, right? But it's Julia. Well, it had like a sound to it. She was so pissed when people would say Julie. She'd say, my name is not Julie, it's Julia. Julia. I remember that. So for those who out there,
the same.
that's all I remember in German. Ich liebe dich. So that's all I remember. So thank you, Eugenia. I got it now, right?
No, you didn't.
I still didn't get it. I'm making up a new name for you.
Eugenie.
Yeah. Okay, Eugenie. In the brain, Carolyn. Eugenie.
8 times before you go to bed, you'll get it.
I'll get it. See, we got to stay in touch so I can make sure I get it, because I got to keep practicing.
We'll see each other this week. For sure.
Yes, we'll see each other this week, right? Exactly. So we can share all this amazingness. So, and with that, I know we're kind of going beyond, but once again, we got to follow the way the spirit going. And thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So we are going to keep this thing moving. Hey, you guys, like, listen, did I tell you, like, this is just, we're only up to 2. Man, oh man. That neat, messy bun. Yeah, I see y'all. I see y'all comments on here. So listen, I am here to tell you that I am so excited about this conference. If you didn't know, I'm telling you right now, I know. But, we're going to take a pause for the cause, because we've been at this for a little bit, just a little bit. Not a big call, not a big pause, just a little pause, because I need to share something with you guys, right? It's another message that Steve kind of dropped for us, and we got to give this message to, we got to let this message, wait a minute, where is it? Hold up. Oh, okay, here we go. So we just heard from Eugenie. I got it. we just heard. Okay, it's the little things, y'all. It's the little things. So here we go. Let's get this message. That's about to get dropped.
Legacy, and welcome to your Sunday. I'm so excited. Why? Because right now I feel the energy inside of me being balanced with this atmosphere. And let's break down what energy is. Now, once the dictionary talked about how energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed, but you can transfer energy. I call it emotional electricity. That's what energy is, right? Why do we need energy? Energy helps balance life. It helps make things move. Everything around us needs energy. Your cars, technology, everything around us. Even us with our dreams and our goals. Now, what helps build energy? Let me break that down. Belief, intuition, and trust. That helps build energy and take you to the next level. Now, how to activate energy? There's 2 ways on how to activate energy: through desperation or through inspiration. Now, unless you activate it, you're still dormant. So my question to you: what is activating your energy today? Is it through desperation or is it through inspiration? What is inspiring you? Boom.
Listen, yes, was that like good to bring you on, right? With
awesome, loved it.
With this energy, as Steve the Legacy, he just broke it down. It's all about your energy. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching from all around the world, it is my pleasure to bring you this beauty right here, Miss Wendy Harris. Take it over, my love. Take it over.
Thank you so much. lives just like you're doing. So thank you for that. And thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it. So with that, yes, I am a health and wellness coach, and I help people with eating disorders and discovering their true self-worth and body confidence. And I myself have struggled with an eating disorder for over 12 years. So I know all too well what it takes when, or all too well of the hate, the shame, the disgrace, the just the depression that you put yourself into when you consume yourself with what others think. Perfection, trying to be Miss Perfect. When you do for others more than you do for yourself, when you start caring for others, when you just give everything that you can, and you slowly and surely just lose your self-worth, your self-confidence, just everything. So I'm here to tell you that you can have that all back with just getting peace with yourself and just creating that. And you know what? Eugenie said it so perfectly too. There's so many steps that her and I kind of go back to back on, getting rid of the shame and the guilt, and having self-care. But all that will come on some of my 5 steps that I have to share with you all. So I just want to give you a little background. Like I said, I have dealt with bulimia and anorexia for over 12 years. So I, have just kind of consumed myself in just an eating disorder and a habit. And it was just a habitual habit that you kind of get yourself in any addiction like that. Oh, shopping addiction, drugs, alcohol, whatever addiction you do, you become so consumed in it that you actually lose who you are. So, and many of us hide in that. And we hide so much in that. And we do that to numb that pain out, to numb ourselves so that we don't have to feel. And that's one thing I really want to talk to you all about, is that feeling is just that. It's just a feeling. And it's not good or bad, whether that feeling is good or bad. To sit with that feeling and to understand it, that just brings you the best peace and the most serenity that anyone can ever have, instead of hiding it and numbing it in a substance or in a thing. Because then, and only then, you can really find true self. See, success in life really is not all about, how much weight you can lose or how thin you can be, which is kind of what I thought it was at one time. It's not about how much money you can make or about how many people you can help. No, it's success comes from knowing and owning your own personal self-worth. And in that, you get the money, the fame, the fortune, and all of that comes from being your best self. But you can't have that until you know who exactly you are and having peace within yourself. So a dysfunctional relationship with food or people or your body, any addiction that you can get involved with, all stems from our feelings that we are around ourselves. And we have become so afraid to feel, like I said before, so afraid that we will hide in any addiction. We will hide in thinking that one thing will comfort us, and that one thing that is comforting us in a twisted sort of way is the one thing that's really, really harming us. But we find comfort in that because we feel that that's the only thing that we deserve, because our self-worth and our self-esteem is so low. And see, we are put on this earth to be so much more and so much better. And we are so worthy of it all. And we can have it all. So just knowing that, and knowing that the reality of how we feel about ourselves so profoundly affects on how we behave towards ourselves, the habits that we create, and how we portray ourselves to others. When we feel worthy and we feel our self-worth and inspired and self-confident, we hold ourselves differently. We radiate. We just walk through this world with ease and purpose, and things start coming naturally. People look at us and oh my gosh, how is she like that? Or how is he like that? I want to be like that person. Because they have that inner being. They have that inner peace. When you are feeling worthy of yourself, you don't need to turn to anything to harm you. You don't need to turn to a harmful addiction. You don't need to hate yourself. You just authentically get to be you, and you get to be vulnerably you, and all of your messiness and quirkiness isn't all of that, because that makes you so perfectly and perfectly you. See how that goes? So really, when you take your self-worth and you wrap it up into like a particular like facet in like food or an eating disorder or any type of addiction that you can get into, that particular behavior literally gives you more negative attributes. So how do you break free from that? How do you gain peace with yourself again? How do you, just like find yourself again? Because you know what? That was like the hardest thing for me. When I was like so consumed in my eating disorder, I had the hardest time breaking free from that because that was where my comfort was. That was where everything was. But I knew so much better. I knew that there was more for me out there. It was just, I had to start taking the little steps that I could do to break myself free, to find myself again, and to find that peace. And once I found that peace, everything just kind of fell into place. So here are my 5 like simple little steps. And if you want, you guys can take some notes. So number 1 is you need to find your self-esteem again, just like we just talked about. And finding your self-esteem, it's like when you have years of self-abuse, when you have years of self-hating yourself, and sometimes we kind of think that that's normal. Like you can sit there and you say, oh, look at my fat thighs, or oh, I hate my hair today, or oh, you start saying those negative things about yourself, you start believing them. See, your thoughts become your things. Your thoughts create your actions. Your thoughts create your behaviors. So in order to stop that, in order to start building that self-esteem, you need to take everything that you can and say, you know what? I love me for me. Like I was created just like this and I'm perfect just the way I am. And then from there, things start falling into place. And sometimes you may need to like start really low, like I did. I had to like look at myself and I couldn't find a single thing to like about me. And the one thing I could say was myself, oh, I have blonde hair. I'm wrong, I have blonde hair. That was the only thing I could find. But then there was something else. The next day I found something else. And the next day I said something else. And each little step I kept saying to myself, just built on the next. And I started liking myself a little bit more. And then I started like portraying that more. And you know that feeling you get when you can look at the mirror and love who you are? Oh my God, what an amazing feeling. I mean, what a gift. No matter what, anything's going on with coronavirus or this or that or the other thing, you can love who you are. Oh, that's so beautiful. And then that leads to self-care. We need self-care like nobody's business, especially now with all of us, being quarantined and, all of this coronavirus stuff now. We have a tendency to just like get up and not do anything sometimes, some days are just like that, but really just diving in. And other days, with self-care, I'm sure some of you guys can probably relate to this, is you've never done it. It's foreign to you. It's like this foreign object. Like, what do you mean I have to like take care of myself? I'm so busy taking care of this person and that person, and I need to do this for this. No, you need to take care of yourself first. Kind of like Eugenie said, like put that mask on first, and then, help the next person. Because by putting that mask on first, you become better yourself. And that way you become more for the next person that you can help. So nurture yourself. Take that long walk. Go read a book. Take a hot bath. And when you start taking small little actions like that, you start feeling a little bit more deserving. Like, oh, this felt great. I did deserve this. This just rejuvenated me. Sometimes it's taking a kickboxing class or a yoga class or, a title boxing class. Sometimes you just need to punch it out. I don't know. But do what feels right and nurture that inner you. Because through that, you just like blossom to be more than you ever thought you could be. So realize that. And like simply by just doing those little things, those behaviors become easier. They become more deserving. They become better. And you look so forward to them. That you are just more. And you do more. And you're there more for people. And you're present. When I really started doing more self-care, my mind actually was able to be more present with those around me. I could sit and listen and not be obsessing about, oh, like I can't eat, or what is the next food I'm going to binge on and secretly purge on, or what's this or what's that. I was so consumed in my own thoughts. I wasn't present with everyone else. So when you do start taking those self-care days and you do start giving yourself that time, I mean, you can just be there. You can so engage with other people and truly be authentic with them. And they feel it. They really do. And so that leads me to my third step, if I can hold my fingers, is shifting our thinking. Your thoughts do become your thinking. The things you think about become your thoughts become your thinking all the way around. So when you have those self-defeating conversations in your head, or habits, or certain things that you just keep doing over and over again, like I said, habits and little traditions that you put into place, when those are those self-defeating things, those habits become a little bit harder to undo, especially when you're not completely thinking about it. When you start thinking like, well, why am I doing this? Why am I going here when I really don't want to do that? What is this thought? Where is this going to take me? Which leads me to this amazing book called by Byron Katie called Loving What Is. And she goes to four little phrases that she always talks about is, what are your thoughts? And are those thoughts true? Are they really, really true? Like I would sit there and look at myself and tell myself, like I hate myself. Oh, is that really true? Do I really, really hate myself? At one time I probably could have said yes. But no, I really did love myself. I just didn't know who I was anymore. And then what would I do without that thought? Like if I didn't hate myself, what would I be? I'm like, oh, that would be amazing because I could just live. I could go do more. I could be more, And then if I turn that thought around and really thought about it, what did I do in the past with that thought? Did I really so hone in on it and try to make myself this perfect person or who I thought everyone else needed to be? No, I just I hate myself. Okay, well, why? No, you really don't hate yourself. You're just not liking your actions, or you're doing everything else for everyone else, or you're not putting yourself first. So, what did you do in the past? Well, I just kind of took a break, or I did something fun, or I went out with a friend, or I did something for me. So start thinking of those things. Who would you be without those negative thoughts? You'd be amazed at how much more you can do, how much more you can accomplish, and how much more you can be. So just by changing your thoughts, you change your behaviors. And I know, like I said, I hate myself. When I start looking in the mirror and no, I really do love myself. So really start thinking of those things. And my fourth and fifth step together are guilt and shame. Kind of like what Eugenie just said as well. The whole guilt and shame. See, guilt, it comes from all those beliefs and stories and rules and regulations and all of that you kind of build and set on yourself. And when you can't meet those expectations, when you can't meet those rules, and when that black and white thinking becomes so rigid that you fall short of your own standards, that's when all that guilt comes on. Because then you may be starting to think oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'll never amount to this. Oh, I'm never gonna, oh, I knew I should have done it, but I just didn't do it. You guys start getting those guilty feelings. And then shame, then you throw shame on top of that. Let's just give it a 1-2 punch. Shame then comes on and it builds on all those distorted stories that you've been telling yourself. And then that deeply gets rooted into you. And then you start becoming that. And who needs that? It's so hard on a person. And shame is never supposed to be here for us. We just need to get rid of it. We all make mistakes. We all do something funny or, wrong sometimes, it's life. Live up to it and acknowledge it and be that's just me. That's who I am. And love on that part of you. Instead of shaming it, love on it. And one thing I really want to point out is when you do get into that shame, kind of sit with it. The best thing when you really start finding yourself sitting back in that shame mode, sit with it. Don't run away from it. And really start discovering where's this thought coming from? Why am I thinking this? And then picture yourself as a child and picture yourself with all of those shame and doubt and all of that just being there. And look at that adult seeing you sitting there and seeing all this that you're piling on top of yourself. Do you think that adult's going to go to that child and hate on that child? No. You're going to go and nurture that child and love on that child. And then sit there and think, what beliefs are coming up? What beliefs am I sitting in with this shame? How am I feeling about this? And the more you sit with it, and the more you actually feel it and not run away from it, the more it just kind of dissipates. And it just is. And then you can go back on with your life and you feel so much more powerful that you didn't just go run and hide and into like a distorted behavior. You just are. And you created more strength and beauty within you. So what I want to like kind of leave you with, I know we're kind of running a little bit over, but I still have a couple more points to make, is you need to be first willing to release some of these stories of shame and hate and guilt. And in doing so, you need to start changing some of those to positive thinking. And that's just like reading books, getting online with positive people, and some of the positiveness, online could actually be like comparison, and you really want to stay away from that. But really get in with good, positive people that are there to uplift you and bring you to your higher self. Meditate. Honestly, just sit and meditate and really hone in into like everything that you feel that you deserve and that you want out of this thing, and see it coming through. And on some of those hard days, sometimes I like imagine like this bright light just filling my soul and warming me and giving me all the truth and gratitude and love that I need for that day, and just having that time and those moments just to spend one-on-one time with you is so important, like so important. And then, and like I said, just know that like our mistakes and like what we do, our little quirks and our little, that just makes us us. So love and embrace that. Just love and embrace you being you. And the best way to overcome, like I said, shame is just to say, don't run. So remember, you are beautiful and you are just made so perfectly and you deserve the world. You really do. And just remember, your thoughts and your actions become the behaviors in your things. So really dive into the self-care, the getting more self-confidence, more self-esteem. And that's just diving into books and self-help things. And then just really taking guilt and shame out of the question. Understanding that's going to be there occasionally, but throwing those stories, throwing all that in the back corner and working through it, sitting with it, understanding it, and really pulling yourself to a place that you can create so much peace and happiness with yourself. Your family, your children, your spouse doesn't need to see you rescuing them. What they need to see from you is you rescuing yourself. Because from there, they will know the strength and beauty and grace and dignity and how to love and understand and be there for people, because they saw a mom or a dad become all that they could be and do all that they could do for themselves. And they take pride in that. They take pride in seeing a mom or dad just be everything that they could be. So there you have it. There are my 5 simple steps. And, one last thing I also want to pull out to this is that I love to start my day out with a nice morning routine. And it's one thing that's really, really so important to have peace with yourself. Is just to give yourself, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in the morning. Just sit in prayer and meditate and journal. Because sometimes like seeing your thoughts, sometimes seeing those thoughts on paper gives you the best just cleansing of the mind and soul, because you're like, wow, I didn't know I really thought that. I didn't know I really felt that. And then you can sit in meditation with that and then really pray about that. And I'm like such a spiritual person, and I don't know if you believe in God or Buddha or whoever. There is a higher power that you do believe in, and it could even be a higher power within yourself. But turn to that person and ask them for guidance to become more and to become the person that you're journaling about and become all that you can be. And I really hope that this 2020 year, I pray that you do find peace within yourself, and that because from there you will gain freedom, freedom like you will not believe, freedom to be so authentically you, and that you can go out there and touch the hearts and lives of so many others around you. So I hope you enjoyed my 5 steps, and I thank you so much, Carolyn, for having me on today. I really do appreciate it. It has been my absolute pleasure. So, and if there is any questions, I would love to take them. So I really do hope, like Monique, I see it says, a total affirmation of self and wellness from within. It really is. Like really setting yourself up, giving yourself that care and that time that you need is really setting yourself up for just a whole wide range of freedom. And it could not just only within yourself, but in life, with business, with partners, with relationships, and with food in your body. And that's something more that I specialize in too, like food in your body. So if you are struggling with that, definitely reach out to Carolyn. I can give you some links for some help and some videos to guide you on. But really take the time for yourself, because that finding that peace within is so important. Wrap up a little bit soon. I know we were a little off on time.
No. I was trying to say time. Y'all still want to give you your time. You still did your full time. I want to be, because we're good. We're good. We're gonna make sure that the message get out. There was no rush. It's just that now it's time to start, engaging with people. Like, so that was thinking like boom. That's all I can say. Boom. So you want to know what came to mind? So let me see. We got all this inner peace. Still, Yolanda says she's still working on her inner peace. Monique said, I think you already read what Monique said. Yeah. Oh, Allegra, she even said message posted on my mirror. Oh, wow.
Absolutely, girl.
Vanna White, let's bring her on so she can give us a recap, because that's what she do. She recaps us.
I love it.
Hey, oh my gosh, what an amazing, so on time message, I think, for all, but especially for women. In talking to our circles and even looking at some of the comments that you've read and shared with us, that it's a work in progress and women often struggle. I've not even, you brought back something real to me. When I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with anorexia. I don't even know that my closest friends know that. And just dealing with that, you brought all those things back up to me. Even though anorexia, I healed and recovered from that. I still didn't have the self-care and the worth. And so I found other ways to hurt myself, right? And so I think that's what you spoke to so authentically. I love, you said, when you talked about peace and becoming, and that equaling the authentic you. Amazing. Thank you so much. The comments, still working on my inner peace. And I think that resonates with women, that we consistently don't take care of ourselves. And one of the things that I think you brought up that was like, just like pierced my soul, was that you said that our families and the people that we love will value us more when we take care of ourselves. That's the real strength. And I hope that women see that and hear that. I needed that. That's going on one of my Post-its. I got Post-its everywhere.
You should. Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that too, when you brought up that you had anorexia, every 62 seconds, someone dies of an eating disorder. Every 62 seconds in pursuit of finding the perfect body, or in pursuit of not having that inner peace within them. So, when you start getting in that, and you start really just, diving into self-care, self-love, and just knowing that you are so much more worthy, you can just be so much more for everyone else, and that's just touch those people that need to hear this.
And someone else, Josie said, body image is such an integral part of what women hang on to in our society. Inner peace is the solution. So I think that just resonates with women. and what we're teaching our girls by what we do as adults. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for this is such an integral part of self-care and growth and empowerment. This was what I think I needed. I know for sure.
I love it. Thank you so much. That really touches me too. So, and that's what I'm here to do, is just to, spread like everything that I've been through to give to you, because it is a struggle, as you know, going through anorexia and bulimia, even binge eating, anything, any disorder, any addiction is so hard to fight through. And it's something that you're trained to, because you're just missing, you're trying to fill up that emptiness, that void that's really inner peace, so that is what I'm here for.
Oh my gosh. 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 That's like, oh my gosh. Allegra, you was about to make me cry. Don't do that. Like, I'm supposed to be up here. Like, you supposed to be the hype person. Like, what's happening? Like, you supposed to be the hype man. Like, you're about to make me cry. Like, y'all, people know me. I'm a cry baby. I'm sitting there like, oh no, like this is, and body image, like Josie said, like body image is something, because I have scoliosis. So for the longest time, I had issues with that, like sometimes it still pops up, but I get to the point now I'm like, I don't care. It is what it is. Like this is me. I may be bent, but I'm not broken. Okay.
That's right. And it makes you, and it makes you just so perfect.
Just perfect, beyond perfect, perfectly imperfect for the perfect self that I am.
That's right.
There we go. Tongue twister. So, Allegra, thank you so much. We're going to bring you back on. So now you can go cry behind stage. And, got me all crying. I'm glad I got my glasses on so people can't see my eyes. I was about ready to start crying. Like, no, we can't do that. But you know what? But before, I'm going to leave you here for a second, because this is what was placed on spirit. And this will really, really, truly get things together. Get ready for Bridget, for the word we're going to get from Bridget. And I see you back there practicing, boo. I see you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. She probably doing a live or something. I don't know what she's doing. She's praying. She's doing something. But this is literally what I put up for us to do next, to get ready, and it's so perfect right after what you just said. So for everybody who's probably still sitting down, like I know I can get up for a little bit. You might want to just get up and stretch for a second. Just for a second, but this is so right on time. We need to hear this.
Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time.
It's my time, y'all. I see Eugenia. Okay, Eugenia. Come on, Eugenia. Come on, boo. Come on, boo. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, let's get ready for Bridget, y'all. Like, I already know it's coming. It's coming. Oh, this for the ladies, y'all.
Because I may not get another chance. I believe it. If I want it, I can have it. I believe it.
Oh, see Charles. Sir Charles. Okay.
Let's
bring it on. Let's bring it on. Bridget, you see what we doing for you, boo? We can do it.
And I'm not going to stop till I win. It's my time to ride. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to live. It's my time to flow. It's my time.
My time. It's your time.
My time.
Diva. I'll tell you guys, that is like my go-to song, y'all. Like, yes. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad we had that little rock out party. I hope everybody out there that energized you, it kind of fell right in line. There's a song that was placed on my spirit. And then when I started listening to after what Wendy was saying, I was like, oh, this is so perfect. So perfect. As we heard from Sir Charles, as we heard from Eugenie. I got it right. Then I get it right this time, Bill. Yeah. Because I had to remember what it rhymed with. Rhymed with Cheney. Eugenie. Got it. So listen, like I am just so super stoked. Like it's my time. It's your time. it's all of our time to shine in this moment where we're at. And, you know, like we got our peace within ourselves. So Wendy, thank you so much. Thanks. So you got everybody, you got love. Everybody's giving you snaps up. Everybody giving you all kinds of stuff. You just getting love from every single angle, all the corners of the globe. Up, see, you got thumbs up from London. Okay. You get all kinds of thumbs up. All kinds of everything. I just love it. I loathe it. So as much as I want you to stay on here forever, but we gotta move on to this next powerhouse she's gonna bring us something. She's gonna help us and see, it's ironic her name is Bridget, right? So, but she gonna bridge the gap. You follow what I'm saying? She gonna bridge the gap. She gonna bridge the gap. All the stuff that we heard today. She gonna help bridge the gap. Like, did you catch that? But in the meantime, Wendy, thank you so much, love. I am so, once again, grateful to you for spending this time coming all the way from Detroit, Michigan. Yes, we're Dearborn, but Detroit. And just coming to us and bringing us this word that you had, and to remind us, just remind us of how delicate and gentle we are. And it's okay. And it's okay to be in that moment and to really take care of self, because self is that's where our preservation is at. And that's how we can get to all the other things that we need to do. And it's okay, and it's okay to be okay with not being okay. Right? Exactly. So I am just so honored and grateful, that we have been connected in the way that we have. And I'm just, much love and once again, when I can get on the plane, I'm coming over and we got that spa date.
That's right. We do. We really do.
We got that spa date.
No more Uber, you tell me.
Thank you so much. Thanks. So hang tight. All right, you guys. So once again, you guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, we just heard from the amazing, the wonderful Wendy from I can't say the Windy City, because she's not from the Windy City. She's from Detroit, where, Motown, where they make the cars. And, she was helping us move into a new direction with our self-image and all that wonderful stuff. But, man, here we go. We got this one right here. We got Bridget Banks. Let me tell you about this. I can't even tell you about her. I can't. I really can't, because she is so stinking amazing and so awesome. Like, when you have to answer the call, like many are called, but only a few are chosen. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is one of the chosen ones right here that's about to come to us right about now. So I don't know if you guys are ready. If you guys are ready, let me see it in the comments. That you ready, because ready or not, here she comes. Bridget, give me some thumbs up if you ready. You ready. Okay, then listen. Here we go. It's my pleasure to bring you the one, the incomparable, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, Miss Bridget Banks.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited of being here today. Thank you, Carolyn. This is an awesome, dynamic host that we have for this event, and I absolutely count it as a privilege and honor to be a part of this amazing event. Today, we're going to talk about bridging the gap. This particular topic is very passionate for me, is bridging ministry into the marketplace. This is a very important piece in the divine shift that we're in right now. We are absolutely in divine shift, and for many of us, it was a divine interruption, and it was also a divine disruption for others of us. So we are in this place, and it's like, what is happening? We are in the global pandemic. It's not only affecting us in the U.S., but it's affecting nations abroad. So I just come to declare and to encourage you and to empower you and to let you know that it is not only your time, but it is your year of restoration. It is a decade of destiny. And you may say, how can you say that in the midst of a global pandemic? No, it is your time, it's your year, and it's your decade of destiny. And so this is the year that pleases the Lord. It's the year that he will receive the glory. And so my message to you today is just simply to raise the awareness of God's glory in the marketplace. So we're going to bridge the gap between what is happening in our times and how does that affect us personally. And so we're talking about the kingdom of God here, and we know that the kingdom is on the inside of you. It's on the inside of you. Oftentimes you're searching for purpose, you're searching for your peace, but it's on the inside of you. It's not on the outside of you. It's within and it's not without. So we're going to unlock the treasure that you are. We're going to unlock and activate the keys to the kingdom that you may be able to access the next best version of you. When we think about the kingdom, we said like this, as the word of God says, let his kingdom come and let his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so as we navigate through these times, these can be chaotic times, I want you to keep your focus. I want you to know that God has great plans for you. He has predestined you for greatness. He has predestined you for good success. And it requires a mindset shift. And so we know the word of God says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may be able to prove the perfect and acceptable will of the Lord. If we think about the eagle is one of the most admirable birds in the sky. It's a great bird that's known for its majesty, is known for what its ability of able to do. It has the ability that in a time of a storm, in a time where it's chaos, in a time where you should not be able to see, the eagle still can see at 20/5 vision. Okay, we know that we are in the year of 2020 where you should be able to see clear and you should be able to see with clarity, meaning that you should have revelation. But I want us to elevate even in that. We can be just like the eagle and have 20/5 visions because we are in heavenly places. We are seated in heavenly places, which means that we're able to see in the spirit realm. We're able to be like the children of Issachar and be able to discern the times that we're in and know that we are in a time that a shift is taking place that our world has never experienced before. It's a shift that's not for evil, but it's for our good. And so when we think about the eagle takes the currents of that storm. And as the storms begin to keep going and is all rampant and we just sit up here like, oh my God, most people are afraid. Most people don't know what to think about next. But the eagle take those currents and it begins to soar above it. It uses it as leverage. And I come to encourage you today that even though we are in chaotic times, even though we are in time, I want you to shift the way you're looking at it. Use it as a time to up level. Use it as a time to be able to use the storms that we're in. Now, I know some of you may say, I don't feel that way. I got a lot of things going on. I don't know what's next. Well, you're no different than that eagle, because as great as the eagle is, when the eagle comes to this place of his life, it has a 74-year time span, but it comes to this place in life at about approximately 30 years in, and it comes to a place where its beak is hanging over. It comes to a place where the feathers on it is sticking to it, and it no longer is able to do what it was created to do. You may be in a place in your life right now. You say, you know what? I know I have been successful. I've done great things. And I know my business has ran well. I had a great career, but I don't know what to expect next. Everything that I was created to do, everything that I knew I was created to do, I no longer have the ability to do. And I'm simply here to encourage you. The eagle in that same space, it go down down to this place in the valley and in the mountains, and it goes down and it goes deep into the valley, and it have this place where it's like a graveyard. And in that graveyard, it's surrounded around a whole lot of other eagles. And all those eagles are in that same place. And in this place, the eagle is wondering, what do I do next? I feel like I'm dying. What do I do next? And the eagle has to face this decision. It is truly a life-changing decision. It has to make the decision that either I'm going to renew my strength or I'm going to die here where I'm at. And I encourage you to know that the times that we're in, you don't have to die in the space that you're in. You can transform. You can be able, the word tells us, they that wait upon the Lord, okay? We're waiting for these plagues to pass over, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. That is a process. And so in this place where the eagle is there and is waiting and is wondering what is next, it's surrounded around other eagles. Now, some eagles begin to attack one another. And I want to encourage you, do not attack another eagle. Y'all may be going through the same things in different ways, but do not attack another eagle simply because you have lost hope. I want you to be encouraged to know that in this place, you will also see eagles that's flying above you, and they are soaring. And what they recognize, they begin to hover around that graveyard because they know exactly what it is to be in that space. They know exactly where it is to be in the place that you're in right now, the place where you don't know what comes next. They know exactly what it is. And what they began to do is they began to drop down the fresh meat. It can't be old meat. It can't be done the way it was done before. It cannot be stale meat. It has to be able to be fresh. And they drop down that fresh meat. And when they drop down that fresh meat, the eagle on the ground has to make the decision to eat the fresh meat, because that fresh meat is what's going to begin to renew the strength within that eagle. And as it began to eat that meat and it began to get its strength back, it began to get up enough strength to be able to soar again. And so the eagles that are flying, they are providing encouragement and empowerment and saying, you can do it. You can make it. You will see the other side. There is glory after this. You can keep going. And so in that, the eagle gathers the strength to be able to keep going. And the eagle gets enough strength to be able to mount up again. Hallelujah. It will get the strength to be able to mount up again. And as that eagle gets strength to be able to mount up again, it's still a storm going, but now the eagle can be able to mount up again and go and soar above the storms. It's able to begin to soar. It began to be able to do what it was created to do. It's important for us to note that when the eagle was in the valley, it could not cry. It had no tears. It was just done. But when the eagle began to soar, it returned back to the rock in which it was created. It came back to the source in which gave them strength. It came back to the place in which it returned back to the top. So even though you're in a place that it seems like you are in the deficit, you will return to the top. And when the eagle returned to the top, the eagle was able to sit at the top of that mountain, and it began to shed tears. But these were not tears of sorrow. These were tears of joy. The eagle was now able to cry again because it was able to do what it was created to do. And so I want to encourage you that in this space, as we're bridging the gap between what was before and what is, you have to be able to accept the thing that we're going to have to evolve. You have to evolve in your business. You have to evolve in your relationships. You have to evolve even within yourself, the next best version of you. You have to evolve in your mind. Wherever your mind goes, that's where you go. And so you be in that place where you're able to evolve and you're able to shift with the times. You don't stay where it was before, but you're able to receive the new information and the new knowledge, and you're gathering the strength to be able to transform what it is to look like next. And so in that place, you understand that God is dealing with us, God is dealing with us in a place where we cannot no longer do things the way we did them before. You see us now, we evolving into technology. We're evolving into doing things different. Businesses are now even evolving to have their employees at home. There's different things that began to take place because we'll never again see the world the way it was before. So you have to be able to evolve in how that happens. And so in that place, I want to encourage you that when it's time to evolve, just know that God is not stopped in anything that he's doing. The kingdom of God is always advancing. It's up for us to see it. And so in that place, we have to know that in that place, when we go to shift and we begin to transform, that the kingdom is in 7 different mountains. We know the 7 mountain mandate. We have not seen the full manifestation of that prophecy. And so we have the 7 mountains in the different industries that you're called to. And in those 7 mountains, when you begin to evolve, you got to know that this time you're doing it for the glory of God. This time, if you got the mountain of religion, he said, they that worship me must worship me in spirit and truth. And we're still talking about bridging the gap, because when Jesus came, they went to go tell him about how their forefathers told them to worship. And they began to tell him about what they knew before. And he said, I didn't come to get rid of that, but I came to fulfill it. I came as the manifestation of it. This season that we are in, it is a revealing of who we truly are. It is a revealing of our purpose in which what we were created to do. It is a revealing to be a solution to a problem that's in the earth. And so in that place, Jesus said, I didn't come to abolish the law. I came to fulfill it. He had to bridge the gap from what they knew before, that was spoken of before. And now they had to begin to transform their mind to be able to manifest what it is that they knew from before. And they couldn't do things the way they did it before. But guess what? This time they had even more power. They had even more tenacity to be able to push forward and do for this next decade. And so I want to encourage you, because even when Jesus was doing this and he had the story, we know the story of the woman at the well, but God revealed it to me like this: that woman at the well is the church. That woman at the well had 5 husbands, okay, and that's the dispensation of grace. And then they had a 6th husband that was at home that was not hers. And then Jesus spoke to her and gave her all the information. And she said, I know a man. She came into the 7th, which was completion, which was perfection. That in your life that has not been perfected concerning you is coming to a head on this year. On this year, God began to open your eyes so you can have 20 and 5 vision. And you're able to see beyond your circumstances. You're able to see beyond the global pandemic. You're able to see beyond the COVID-19 crisis. And you remember who Christ is. And so in that place, you have to know that she was in that place and she met the one that was the perfect one. And that was Jesus himself. And he said that woman is the church. They served every other idol. They served the systems of this world. But do you not know that the kingdoms of this world shall become the kingdom of our Lord? And all the kingdoms of this world will fail, but it's only one kingdom that will stand. And so this is the year where his kingdom come, his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So if you call to the mountain of religion, take your rightful place. If you call to family, if you call to government, if you call to education, if you call to media, if you call to arts, if you call to entertainment, or if you call to business, this is your time to begin to make a shift, to give God the glory in everything he gave you to do. And know that you're equipped. You came here before you was even born. You was already equipped. You were already predestined for greatness. He already had predestined works. All you have to do is walk in them. You are a kingdom ambassador. You have to be secure in your calling, and you have to be willing to make that shift. So you have the gift of creativity. You have the gift of networking. You have cross-cultural ministry. You have discernment. And discernment is very key when you go to connecting with others and being able to know that is this something I should be a part of? Is something I should not be a part of? Encouragement, evangelism, faith, hospitality, intercessory prayer, very imperative because we want the kingdom to come, and leadership, prophecy, and restoring. So you must know that God has given you everything. He's equipped you even with teaching and worship for you to fulfill the call that's on your life. That's what it is when we talk about bridging the gap. You're going from what it was before. It meets you right where you are. but it's going to take you to a place that you've never seen before. And it's now to him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all you can ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. Have a blessed day on today. I hope that you're encouraged, inspired, and empowered, and even receive maybe even some clarity for some things that you may be going through today. Take, just like the eagle, use those places. The graveyard was not a place to die. It was a place of preparation. Shall these dry bones live? Yes, they can. And so all you have to do is take the fresh meat, take the knowledge, take the information, begin to transform, have peace with yourself, and mount up and do this thing again. Have a blessed day.
Girl, I wish I had a neighbor next to me so I could be like, neighbor, did you hear that? Did you hear that? We all got to touch and agree on we were back here yeah. Man, the shift, the atmosphere, the energy. I'm once again and people, like I said, people who start to know me and learn me, that I'm very unorthodox, and that came out of your words too. He was like, oh yeah, that's right, you're very unorthodox, and I am. I really, really am. And when you have to get to this, you get to this place of when you're going through this, let's recap everybody, and we're gonna bring everybody back in a second because I'm going to explain something in a minute. But when we go through this, time period of this chaos and just this kind of crazy corona crazy, right? And we're trying to really figure out ourselves and how we're positioning ourselves. And then, you got to be like, you know what? No, it is my time. And you just so eloquently, listen to how God just dropped it, or whoever it is that you want to, a higher power that you serve. Look how it was dropped. It was just like, okay, what's the order? And then that was the order. And it's like, okay, what are they speaking on? And I just went based on what they kind of and it just flowed. And then of course I was looking at time zone differences, those things, but not really, right? This is literally the way it was supposed to be. Or y'all, as Bridget said, y'all not picking up what was being dropped, right? Y'all not picking up what's being dropped. That's what just has my soul on fire when I see the reverence of the Lord, when I see, the things that are manifested just when you trust and you believe and you just move forward with this thing anyway, and just know and believe without a shadow of a doubt within your mind, when be transformed, as she said in Romans 12 verse 2. It's all in the power of your mind. Your mind will allow you to be able to get through this chaos, to get through this craziness, to be able to be good with yourself, with your inner body, and did you not say, like an eagle, soar like an eagle, right? Because see, now when you do all those things, when you get to that point, and I'm gonna connect these dots. We're, like I said, we're gonna all get together and have a chit chat, have a powwow with everybody, right? When we get to this place of discernment, right? Mm-hmm. In the midst of all this calamity, right? Mm-hmm. That's because you are in tune with self. And see, now we're not saying self isn't being selfish, right? And we're not really even saying it's being selfless. You're being in tune with self, and that self is the God in you. You're in tune with that. That's what you're in tune with. So being an eagle, and I see Roger on here, and he was part of the and he has a good analogy about an eagle. An eagle, and Bridget put it right down there, dropped it too. Eagle, first of all, you don't see any other birds flying with eagles. They roll solo. Mm-hmm. Eagles are the only ones that can fly that high. Why? Because they need to be able to see all things. They need to be able to soar. They need to be able to just glide and just be able to come down and just, and get to their destination where they're needed. They're one of the largest predatory birds that you'll see. I don't know if you've ever seen one in person, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Their wingspan is ungodly, right? Just think about, it's your time. It's our time to let those wings just really, really, really span out and let you soar. and get through and bypass all this calamity. You can sit there and be like, mm-hmm. And yo, while you look at this, like, oh, y'all trying to get y'all hair done? I'll be all right with my messy bun. With my messy neat bun. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I'm just I can't even get my words out, Bridget. I can't even get my words out. I am just so like, just even for us to be reconnected and just be, people pour into you, for a minute, for a season, for a reason, and even sometimes for a lifetime. And that lifetime doesn't mean it has to be day by day, minute by minute, second by second, hour by hour. It could be, months or decades at a time. We haven't seen each other or talked to each other in a minute, but yet we would still connect when we needed to, when the spirit put it. I mean, for you to be here now, this is all, listen, for everyone to be on this platform is a God sent. And I don't take any of that lightly. And I just thank and I praise him for giving me the vision and allowing me to have the fortitude and to just do it anyway. Right. And just put something together that makes no sense, but makes sense at the same time. So right. I need to really know who out there has been blessed by everything that they heard today. I need to see something in the comments because, and that's where I'm going to bring Allegra. Allegra, are you good? Because I saw you was back there praising Lord. I mean, she about to I see, woo, child. Like, was she not dropping it? Was she not dropping that hammer? Oh, Allegra.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to be able to get back on. I was going to have to send a message saying I'm still in this praise break, right? Okay. That was awesome. Many of the comments talk about what you said about the decade of destiny, the shift, and I think that has just been the message. And I actually, as you were talking, Carolyn, I was thinking those exact same thoughts. There is no way that man orchestrated any such thing. There's no way. I mean, you can even title something, but with educated and articulate people, when they come to the table, they can put all kinds of spins on that thing. But when it falls in line, that ain't nothing but God. That ain't nothing but God. That's ordained, and that is so true. Destiny. Some of the other comments were level up. That's amazing. And I think it's also relative to some of the slang terms people use, and people need to hear that, right? Because somebody's listening that just I'm gone. Yeah, I am.
All right, my bad.
But here, level up and renew strength in the Lord. I will have sight and strength of an eagle and soar, shift and evolve. Like, those messages are unbelievable and so relative for a time that looks barren. And you spoke about this being a time of shift and a time of things coming to pass, and what things that God has spoken to our lives are about to become, tangible. And this is a preparatory time. Thank you so much for that. I'm telling you, I was back here tearing the floor up in here. Okay? Thank you, Lord, for that message. Thank you so much for being an obedient vessel. I pray your renewed strength for that message that you allowed us to partake in. Thank you so much.
Amen. Praise God. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bridget. So much. I mean, like, I'm even seeing, I gotta give a shout out to my other ambassador, Andrea Blasingame. She said she's gonna be an Eagle. She spoke at the last conference, and she, dropped some knowledge on us to help, into the marketplace to know, careers. Like, she broke down, like, knowing where you when you want to change your career, like, how you do it. Like, you have to be smart about this, not just one day. Oh, I think I want to do this. Like, she gave us facts. She's our fact checker right there, right? Andrea, I'm shouting you out. So thank you. So, and that just coincides with, like you said, positioning yourself in the marketplace. How do you bridge that gap? Because we think that we can't operate in one place and not the other. And Charles gave us that prime example. They talk about separating church and state and church. You can't get no more than that. He's in the military, y'all. Right? He's in the military. And Bridget, you are also in the military. So, you have to find a way to bridge that gap, because that's the only way we're all going to get to the other side. because you got to have that bridge, right? But we operate with gaps in that bridge, and then we wonder why we're still here and they're over there, and we can't figure out how to get over there because we never learned how to bridge that gap because of the things that have been told to us and taught to us and ingrained in us. And that's just not necessarily the case, because we need to understand that it's my time. We need to understand our own self-worth. We need to understand our own love. We need to understand our own power. You know, Eugenia talked about our power, like our position. So, I mean, you really, 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 it's like the alignment. And I'm going to take up another pause for the cause, but thank you so much. And I'm going to bring everybody back in a second, but I have to, transition this way. So thank you, Allegra. I'll be back to you. And then Bridget, once again, my love, thank you. You are like a powerhouse. I've never met anyone like you ever in my life, and I don't think I ever will. and I don't think I ever will. So, I mean, you guys think that I'm bold with the things that I do. You ain't. So you met a Bridget Banks. She takes it to the bank. Okay, that's her name. See, her name was already prophetic. She's bridging me. And she's taking us to the bank. She's like, listen to this. I'm gonna give you something to deposit. Okay, like she deposit. Did you fill out your slip? You fill out your slip. So she gave us something to put a deposit. So when we need to make that withdrawal. Amen. She already gave us something. She gave us something. So Bridget, dear, love you so dearly. My sister in love, all the way across the road, across the bank, across the highway, across the everywhere. Listen, coming to us all the way from, hey, listen, y'all, she coming to us from what they call Sin City. Ain't nothing sinful about that. Listen, she just brought some serious light, right? She brought some serious light. Let your light shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Y'all know I ain't got it together. I'm a little special. But I'm gonna come back to you in a second, Bridget. Thank you so much. I thank you for just once again also answering the call. And that's nothing uncommon. I know you do stuff like this in a heartbeat, because when you see that it's the alignment and the alignment. We'll just leave it at that. Once you see the alignment, then it's like, okay, this is it. This is it. So, man, thank you so much. So you guys, listen, we are going to actually hang tight, because we still have a little bit more to do. And I just want to acknowledge some of the people I see on here. Thank you for holding on and staying with us and joining us. I see Monique, and give you a shout out. Monique Mormon, Allegra, of course, we got our Miss Vanna Allegra, then we also had Josie Fusco, all the way from Canada, mate. Yes, Canada. We got Yolanda Foreman. Yes, Yolanda Foreman, giving her a shout out. She is oh my gosh, what can I say about this beautiful soul right here? So if you guys saw my film, if not, just hold tight. You'll be able to see it again at some time and point. But The Good Life, she's the musical director and has the soundtrack to The Good Life. So yeah, and then a couple other films. So that she's a force right there. I can't wait to maybe get her on the platform. We honored her last year at the conference. So now she's here, and she's just building with us as well. So this is all what we're here to do. So, and so many comments on here, man. Hey, Sister Deidre Florence Johnson said, listen, I go to the church of DJ every Sunday, right? And so now she jumped on board. Thank you so much. So listen, Bridget brought us a word. And see, now sometimes, when we have to explain all of this, because it'll make sense. It'll make sense in a second. So we had, hold up, wait a minute. I'm just kind of not even doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. Hold up. Because I'm always about my transparency in these moments. So we had the pleasure of hearing from Miss Bridget Banks. Miss Bridget Banks, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm just once again so honored that she was here to grace us. So now, what's coming up next? or rather, shall I say, what should be coming up next would be this beautiful soul, Miss Shirley Wynn. Now let me break this down, because I know everyone was waiting. It's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I get to hear from Miss Shirley, from victimhood to victory to vision, and it's a race, and the race is about being resilient, being agile, being, collaborative, and having empathy, when you're going between those three stages. So, but I have to let you guys know, just that enough is power. Just right now, that's just power. But I do have to let you know that, and I can put complete ownership on this. There is a time difference, even greater than EUGENIE, right? She is all the way in Hong Kong, China. I thought for some reason she was in California. Don't ask how I figured that. So my communication with her, we've been off with our time frame, because it's literally the next day and it's the middle of the night. I don't even know what time it is over there right now. So the last I heard from her, we were on board. But at this juncture, and I already talked to everyone on board, because my pastor always told me, be ever so ready. So, and here we go. So at this juncture right now, we will not hear from Miss Shirley. However, we will have her, bring her back in September. Absolutely, positively, we will bring her back once we get this time zone corrected. So that I put the ownership on myself due to the communication missing. We kept missing each other in our, because I think it's tomorrow already for her, right? It's already the next day. So stuff happens. But in the meantime, I believe where we're at, the place where we're at, everything was orchestrated exactly the way it was supposed to be orchestrated. And there's definitely power in that, right? In itself, there's power in that. So I want to, let's see, how can I do this before we get back to, before I bring everybody back, I want to have one last message from Steve the Legacy. He dropped some nuggets for us, and I want to bring one more last message from him, and then we're going to bring everybody that's still on board, who you heard from today, and we're going to all get together and we're going to have a powwow. How about that? You guys ready for that? All right. So once again, unorthodox, but that's me. All right. Now will it play? What happened to it? It's here somewhere. Okay. Now y'all know this thing was working fine all day. So we're going to so we're going to have a pause for the cause. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about what he had to say in a second. Let me see if I can get it to play so you can at least hear it. Maybe you can't see it, but you can hear it, because there's power in this message. There is so much power in this message. Let me find it. And so let me see in the comments what somebody, where we're at. Yeah. Okay. No problem, Wendy. I see Wendy can't do the powwow. That is not a problem. Everything, I think we're all kind of having some issues. We done broke the internet, y'all, on this one. All right. So here we go. And let's listen to what he has to say. What other message we have. Not right now. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to come back to that. But right now, I'm going to bring everybody back who's able to come back. So I know, Wendy, you're kind of here or you're not here. Charles, you're here. Okay. All right. We got everybody back the best way we can. All right. So we got Allegra. We got Bridget. I think I unmuted everybody. Maybe you have to unmute yourself. Unmute. Okay, here we go. And Sir Charles and Wendy. Wendy, are you still here by voice? I'm not sure. If she's still here by voice or not, because she said something was happening with her computer. So I'm going to take her off for right now and try to bring her back on. But in the meantime, so we have, this is who we have. So listen, let's just recap. What was the experience for you? Like Charles, since you kind of kicked this thing off, like what has this experience been for you?
Again, Carolyn, I appreciate the opportunity. Well, to have this opportunity to speak to a forum, in particular when it's internationally in kind. And remember, I believe I was the only male that was a part of this, from how you've articulated and introduced myself, as well as how you go about doing business with communicating to your audience. So the experience for me, anytime I'm able to reach someone that is not male, or even reach parties, whether it be color, creed, gender, it doesn't matter. When the message filtrates across all of those spectrums, then what I do and what the gifts that God has given me, I'm serving the purpose of, like I said earlier, of kingdom building and not building dumb kings. And that's what I'm all about. So again, being here and looking forward to hearing other comments that may come after this conference is complete. But because any feedback would be greatly appreciated. But again, it's been an honor for you to even ask me to be a part of this, because I take it serious anytime that there's anyone who requests words, and I pray about them to make sure that I'm giving the audience what they need and what God would have me provide for them in my current capacity. And I'm not afraid to look. You see my bio. I'm still in uniform. I've served at strategic levels of government, as well as the military. But with all of that being said, again, those experiences are not mine alone. They're for others, which to include your testimony. It does not belong to you. It was your experience, but it belongs to someone else, so that God can be revealed through you. His light shines. So again, the experience was wonderful. And I, again, appreciate the opportunity. And again, I pray that your audience, as well as yourself, took something from that. And again, I'm just proud to serve. Back over to you, Miss Carol. Love you.
Oh man, love you too. Love you more. Love you more. Love you more. So it's so ironic how now I got the bookends on here, right? who brought kind of like a prophetic word. So Bridget, like you weren't on, but you literally encapsulated everything that was said throughout the whole day. Like it's just it literally, like we can't even. I can't even literally, like I said, put the words how it all literally got put together. And like Allegra, like, can you attest to that? Like what just happened here? Like what just happened?
Absolutely. I mean, just empowering, and it was a reset button. And I think that we needed that, especially in this time of COVID that's caused us so much tragedy, as far as our own personal. I can't remember who spoke on holistic care, but holistically, this has impacted us. And this was such a perfect time for a reset. And that's what I felt from this forum of eloquent, gifted, articulate speakers. I'm so blessed. I'm sure that your audience is as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I'm still speechless. That's all I can say is I'm still speechless.
Speechless. Yes, absolutely. And I think to me too, I think one of the things that was so great about this, it everybody could get something from this forum, right? The stage was set for everyone. The table's been set, and people were invited to that table to have a seat. And that is, for me personally, I'm all about voices and being able to articulate that voice, be able to use that voice in your commandment on how you operate in community. And I think that everyone was given a piece of that, no matter what you look like, no matter what your age is, no matter your gender. This was the perfect forum, and the tools were given. And I'm just appreciative, excited. I was back here shouting. I've been dancing. I've written some notes, got some post-its. I got it all on a Sunday. Okay.
Okay. Yes, this is, like I said, this is I can't, I literally can't put words to this. I really can't. Like, when I tell you my soul is full, it is so full to just see how this transpired. And, like, I'm looking at what Monique said. She said, yes, definitely she agrees. It's a reset. It's definitely a reset. We have to reposition ourselves for ourselves. We have to reposition ourselves for, our families. We have to reposition ourselves for our church, whatever church it is that we choose, and I'm saying church is in a body, right? I'm not saying a physical church of religion, just as a body. We have to position ourselves for our destiny, right? We have to position ourselves for what we are called to do, right? We're all called for greatness. We're all called for, it's just a matter, we're just all called, put it that way. We're just all called. And it's just a matter to you if you choose to listen to that call. And see, now first you have to listen to it, right? And that takes some ears, right? That takes the ears. You got to listen. Like, don't see it. You got to listen. They say, listen, Linda, listen. You're not listening. You heard me, but you're not listening. See, and I think that's why we have this reset, because we've been told this stuff time and time again. Just look around us, right? Look around us in this chaos, in this corona crazy. I don't know about you, but I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention loud and clear. And I so wish Wendy, she's still kind of on, but not on. Her computer is still, she has to unmute herself. So, okay, because I was trying to add her back. She was having some technical difficulty. I really don't want to exclude her from the conversation. Well,
yeah, but remember, I'll tell you, Carolyn, you mentioned something about, you said, I'm paying attention. And let me share this with your audience as well, is that in chaos, there's opportunity. Those are not my words. I've read those with a couple of authors as well. So again, what you're talking about is you've got to be able to, once again, understand your environment, what's going on. And that's a reality. You can be aspirational on what you want to try to accomplish, do, but you first have to seek to understand before you speak. Some folks, while you're talking, again, it's that transmission and that reception, that communication thing that I talked about. What you mentioned, Carolyn, was that, we're seeing it's being communicated through sight, through news sources, through social media about what's taking place around us. Those are facts. And I tell folks this all the time as well, is that, look, you get emotional about, I don't care whether it's a political affiliation, whether you're whatever organization's here, wherever you're working, that does not matter emotionally, because that does not get to the root of framing a problem. But what is important is this, is that you determine the facts, because you can't, you don't have the right to determine or write your own facts. Facts are facts. So as you're reviewing everything around you, there's opportunities out there that will evolve, and because of the gifts that God has given you, He is asking you, it's going, I'm alluding a little bit to the parable of the talents. He's given you these talents, so now you are charged to use them and expand on them. And I'll pause there.
Okay. Wow. No, I'm sorry. I was trying to pull something up, but no, that's what it is. That's literally what it is. And for me I'm a speaker. I can talk, right? But this just literally has me speechless, and it takes me a while to process stuff. So You guys are probably going like a week from now. I'm going to be like, that was so awesome. Did you get the word? Did you get the word? Like, because it just, I'm like on sloth mode sometimes. It just takes me a minute, but I do take it all in. I literally take this all in, and to just be able to allow for God to use all of us in our own unique way. And as the Allegra said, the table has been set, and and that coincides with the conversation I had with Steve this morning. And because I kind of had to, once again, you use this discernment, right? You use this this energy that you have to know there's a task that needs to be done, right? And that comes in the military too, right? You know the mission, right? You know the mission. So okay, so what do we do strategically to make sure that we still adhere to the mission and the task that's at hand, right? By literally by any means necessary, but you have to make sure that it's done within decency and within order. So with that, with my situation with our speaker from Hong Kong, I knew there was a possibility that there may have been a disconnect. However, I'm going to move forward anyway, and I'm going to continue to take that as part of the mission. Okay, but then I have to also know that I have to be prepared for combat, not necessarily combat, but you know what I mean? I have to be prepared because anything can happen. You have to be ready at all times. You have kind of like for people like I'm doing this move, and I never played football, but I remember, being chased by boys and stuff, and I'm chasing them because they touch me or they hit me or whatever, and I'm trying to chase them, and I'm running straight, and they doing this on me. They doing this on me, right? It's that football thing, these shifting. You got to shift. That's how we have. That's that shift. The word shift. We have to be able to shift when we see things. Okay, nope, coming this way. Up, nope, going that way. You gotta be quick with your feet. You gotta be quick with your feet, quick with your mind, quick with from head to toe. Quick with your mind, quick with your feet from head to toe, and be able to move in the direction that's been given to you. So with that, I already knew, and I had to prepare. So I was like, you know what? And I remember once again, I talked about hours ago with seeds. Like we planted some seeds. We planted seeds. Seeds have been planted. So now it's just a matter of waiting for these things, the shell to get cracked and for these things to start growing, right? So, and I could tell you with Steve, and I wish he was part of this so he can really share it. And he wanted to. He really wanted to be part of this. So I reached out to him and said, hey, because I remember he said to me, if you ever need a speaker, I'm on it. So of course I'll start thinking in the back of my head, okay, so if I need a speaker, who do I get? Thought of Steve. Reached out to him. He was like, I'm on it. He's like, oh, but it's my daughter's birthday. I said, pause. No, you spend time with your daughter. I said, pause. He's like, oh man, I just got finished saying you gotta be ready when the opportunity comes. I said, pause. I said, another opportunity will come. I said, so this is what we gonna do. So this is what we gonna do. I said, so he's good at doing these little motivational videos and stuff like that. So I said, this what you gonna do. I said, how about you just record something for me and I'll play it. That way you're still part of it. He was like, I could do that. I said, there you go. I said, because you know what? Sometimes, and what I heard Allegra say, this ties right in. I said, sometimes, we want the feast. We're hungry, right? We want to eat. But we can't be picky about the table, about the meal that's been placed before us. We can't be picky about the dinner, the feast that's been given to us. Our job is to sit at the table and we're going to eat it, whether you like it or not. Some things might be them Brussels sprouts that it's like, I don't like them, but guess what? In time, you're going to learn to love them. Right? We complain about the things we don't have, but when the table is set, we ask for things, and then we have to be careful with how we receive them. But then you have to recognize that's that listening, right? Are you listening? Are you hearing? Are you seeing of what's before you? And then you have to take it and you got to run with it. It may not look like what you expected, but it's what you needed. I'm a firm believer. It's everything we want, everything, but God is going to give you what you need at the right time, at the right moment, in the right place, through the right person, through the right experience, through the right everything. So, with that, that when she said that, that just made me remember Steve, and everything that, we talked about literally and how he was able to piece this stuff together. And I wish I can still play. I think I can play. I don't know if you can see it, but I can definitely play it so you can hear it. So let's see if we can because this is good. If I can,
He doesn't see fear. All he sees is victory. A legend doesn't have doubt. He's embodied with belief. Legends, they never get lost. They always have direction and where they're going. The question is, are you a legend? Become legendary.
he said, be legendary. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but his message was be legendary. So the question is for all of you guys out there, like, are you ready to be legendary? We gave you the tools, the practical tools, right? To shift your mindset, to be able to maneuver through this chaos strategically, right? Strategically, like they do in the army. Somebody better drop what I'm saying. In the army, fill in the blanks, right? In this army for this ruling, right? And so with that, you have to figure out where you're going to be, how you're going to position yourself, how you're going to place yourself. Yeah, everything is crazy around you, but if you're true with you and you know who you are and you're grounded and now you're in alignment and you know that this is your time and you know that there's no time greater than this, right? So we can learn how to bridge. So we cannot learn how, but so we can bridge the gap. So we can bridge these gaps to get to this other side that we need to be on in order to execute exactly what has been given to us. The seeds have been sown. The seeds have been sown. I mean, that's what when I'm hearing his message, that's what I'm getting from it. That's what I'm getting from it. You become legendary. So, and it takes hard work. It takes hard work. It takes hard work in your mind. For those who trying to, transition, body types and body shapes, and you got to exercise and do all stuff. It starts with your mind first. You can take a pill all you want until you get this right. Not right. I see that head going to the side. You like, yes, I see you, Bridget. Okay, and Allegra. Okay, all right. So that's literally what it is. So getting our mind right is literally your saving grace. Your saving grace. So I don't know if anyone had anyone to comment or talk about what we just heard, like with the whole being legendary, like with your mindset and just legendary in our thinking based on what transpired today. I mean, so Allegra, you're back because you're our Vanna. You've been keeping us all together as our moderator. And see, once again, I want to give a shout out to Miss Allegra because be ever so ready. Once again, many are called, but only a few are chosen. And this morning, without a shadow of a doubt, she just came is like, okay, I'm there, I'm ready. You know what I mean? And this is like the first time I've talked on a panel with Allegra before, but I never had to work with Allegra before. And we got on a conversation. She was like, okay, I got you. What you need? I'm here. Right. And she filled in so eloquently. And that's what happens. See, a lot of times people are afraid and people are scared and they think they have to have everything perfect. You see, we doing this thing anyway. I'm sitting here like let's figure this thing out, right? You just have to bring you. As long as you're confident in you, it doesn't matter what the platform is. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter how it works out. If you know that you can authentically come and bring you to the table, God is going to take the rest. It's like he's our puppet master. He's going to make it work. He or she going to make it work. And so for Allegra, I just have to give you that shine right now. But thank you so much, because this could not have been done without you in the background, in the foreground, and being ready to step up. I mean, it goes for all of the speakers, just being ready, being my pastor once again always said, and it's stuck in the back of my head, be ever so ready, because you never know. You never know when you're going to be called and in what way or capacity you're going to be used for.
Well, I thank you. As it's funny because when she called me and asked me and was like, thank you, I'm like, no, thank you, because I count it an honor, and I count it serviced, and I am so grateful to always be utilized, and I'm just so appreciative. I think Monique said, "You better speak, Carolyn." Thank you for pulling it all together so that we have our dessert with this meal we've received. Yolanda said, "Right now, word from tied together from the beginning to the end." And, I wanted to say, amongst everything that's been said, I think it also it's great to have tools. It's great to be inspired. There's a place that empowerment is needed. But the word that was given from the beginning to the end is that you're not disqualified. And that just sits with me, that yeah, things aren't always going to be perfect. It might be chaotic. Things may not work though just the way you thought. Even in the eagle being down in the valley, he had to come up. So there's a timing, and you're never disqualified, whether that's by an eating disorder. And there's a freedom in being able to share that. So I absolutely appreciate this forum and all listening to even allow me to have the freedom to have that conversation I hadn't even thought about having in many, many years. So thank you so much. All of you speakers did an awesome job. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you for your commitment and your obedience. That is tremendous, because so many of us, God gives us all an assignment. It's whether or not we are obedient to that assignment. So thank you so much, because that is for me.
Okay. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. It's coming. I was trying. Like, we're not going to do this today. We're not going to, not today. But you know what? But yesterday. And that's all part of understanding thyself. And, and if that's the feeling that I have to allow to go through me, then that's what has to go through me. And that's coming from, just gratitude and being able to accept. A lot of times we are able to accept, what other people are appreciative of you, because when you can't accept someone being appreciative of you, whether they're calling you beautiful, whether they're saying you're amazing, whether they're giving you accolades, whether they're just giving you that kudos that we always want to discredit it. And the reason why we discredit it is because we won't even believe it in ourselves. So and this is why this work is so imperative, because it's what our mind is telling us. Our mind is telling us that we're not worthy. Our mind is telling us that we deserve this chaos that we're in. Our mind is tricking us to just kind of ignore it. And then you're putting yourself in harm's way when that occurs, because now you're not able to have that discernment. You're not able to fly like an eagle. And I saw in one of the comments, it was like something about being a pigeon. Pigeons just kind of linger. They just kind of, I don't ever see a pigeon fly. They do fly. They just jump up and come back down, and they just staying on the ground trying to get whatever they can get. Which one are you trying to be? We have to be able to get into ourselves. We have to be able to understand our purpose. We have to be able to understand, that things aren't going to always be right. And we're always going to learn in this process. It's that onion effect. For those who've seen Shrek, y'all know it's an onion effect. We got layers to this thing. And I'm always very transparent with my walk. So I'll get on and I can share excitement, and I can get on and I can share my tears, and I can get on and I can share when something is like, oh, okay, I just got this epiphany. I'm gonna share it with you, because as I learn, you learn. As I grow, you grow. As I thrive, you thrive. That's how we all win in this thing together. That's how that gap gets filled, so we can all go cross over that bridge. So it's providence that brought us all together. And when God gave me these names and said, okay, or just to even just notice on the spot and to be able to listen. And I know that's a gift, and that I don't take it lightly. And thank you. And for acknowledging, being, diligent, and just being, just sticking with the plan. And I do it because I want to, because I know I need to, because I know someone else needs it. because I know someone else needs this grace. Like, I know that my story is not just my story alone. You know, everyone else has a story. No one's story less. Like, someone has a different fill in the blank than mine. And I know that if you know, that faith of that mustard seed, we always talk about that little teeny mustard seed, you know, like, but the mustard seed, from what I understand, it grows to be this big, enormous plant. Right, it grows. This teeny thing grows and just it becomes so enormous. So why not allow for all these different mustard seeds to really understand the power in their own seed? What did we talk about earlier? Seeds have been planted. Seeds have been planted. It's really our time to get to this point of just really understanding who we are, whose we are, right? So that way we can, the best way I can describe this, and this is what I say, God gives you a vision. He entrusts you with the vision to execute it in a way that he sees fit.
Amen. Amen.
That's it. That's it. So whatever has been placed on your spirit, it's not yours. It's his. He's given it to you. He's entrusting you to do with what he sees fit.
Right.
This got put together not by me. I was just used as the vessel to be able to orchestrate and put all this together. So It was kind of like, okay, I heard Charles, and then it was like all of a sudden it was like, ask him to be on the conference. I was like, okay, I don't even know what he does, but I just heard something. I heard something, and that something was enough to ring a bell that says him. Wendy heard something. Wendy. EUGENIE heard something. You heard something. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able. That's that discernment. That's that eagle. That's that flying like the eagle, to be able to look in and see and just see this big, larger picture, but being able to just still kind of sit back and let things just roll. That's. I'm trying to discern the stuff that's out of my spirit right now. So if someone else got to take this, because this stuff is like, when I tell you I'm on fire right now, I am on fire. I am on fire. I am on fire.
It's beautiful. And I appreciate you sharing even your transparency in how this is being pulled together. Because what you just described is, the scripture tells us, those who are led by the Spirit are the sons of God. And the world is waiting. They groaning and they waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. And so what you said is, I heard something and I follow through with it. I heard something and I follow through with it. That is the season we're in. We're in a time where it's time to manifest. What God has spoken in the realm of the spirit is now for us to bring it down into earth by us following through with those instructions, whether they make sense or not. That's why we have to have a transformed mind, because faith requires for you to see what you cannot see in the natural. Faith requires, even when there's trouble, that you're able to see the solution to the problem, and the world is waiting for you to become that solution. And so in that, you just described what the scripture tells us to do. You told us your transparent walkthrough process and how you did what you did. And that's for not just for you, but for every person that's being called by God, for them to do what it is God has told them to do. I definitely appreciate this picture that we see, because you chose somebody who's in the military. Now, I'm done with my military career, obviously. But the scripture tells us, when you look at Isaiah, it says, for unto us a child is born, and the government shall sit upon his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. We have to come to a place, hallelujah, that the kingdom has to manifest, and the government will sit upon his shoulder. It does not matter where we're at. This country in the USA, and I know we have other countries that we're reaching, but however, this country in the United States was built upon biblical principles. God was built in the midst of this. That's why we were a blessed nation. That's why we were a nation who was able to prosper. That's why we were a nation where people looked to us for solutions. That's why. And when this nation wanted to take God out of the government want to take God out of. We go back to our United States Constitution, where they want to take God out of their business. You want to take God out of marriages. You want to take God out of every aspect of your life. That's when we are not operating kingdom minded. And so that's what it's about. We have to bridge the gap because God wants to be involved in every aspect of our lives, no matter whether you choose to or not choose to. But God has already chosen you. So I'll just admonish you and to encourage you, Carolyn, stay with the vision, stick with the vision. You're unorthodox, you're called by God, you're summoned by God, you're chosen by God for such a time as this, a tragic time as this, a time of calamity, a time where things are chaotic. You're chosen to be a visionary, a trailblazer, to do what don't make sense in a time that don't make sense for what is to come. The problem why many people was caught off guard with a global pandemic, because many people was not in the face of God. God spoke this thing back at least 7 years ago, because I got it 7 years ago. I didn't know exactly what all it would look like, but he said, I'm preparing you for a time to come. And I want you to use your prophetic encouragement. I don't care what you see. This year, enter into this year, January 2020, the year of revelation, the year of clarity, the year of vision, that you just think everything is just going to flow. He said, no, this is the year I seen a vision of a pile of dead bodies. And I said, oh, okay. He said, no matter what you see, I need you to speak what you see. He said, speak what I tell you. Because when you go back to Jeremiah 29:11, it said, I know the thoughts that I have towards you, to prosper you and not to harm you, and to bring you to an expected end. There's an end after this. But he spoke that in the midst of captivity. God spoke to me 2 days ago, and he said, I'm turning the captivity. This is the year the oppressed go free. You cannot conform your mind to the systems of this world. You are a kingdom ambassador. You are to do things the way God has for you doing, because he's the one who established government. And so this is the times that we're in. And when we understand who we are, we can come into divine alignment with what God called us to do, because we're called to make a difference. No matter what industry we're called to, we are who we are. And the problem is we have compromised who we are while the world is free to be who they are. When the world needs us, we don't need the world. We're called to transform the world. We don't conform to it.
That's a word for you, Carol. That's a word. Yes. That's it.
I picked up what was dropped. I picked up what was dropped. Yeah. Thank you for such a time as this, right? For such a time as this. You know, I don't know, and I don't want to know because I'm not supposed to know. I'm just supposed to do. And that's what I do. And it's about serving. So I just thank everybody who's been on. I'm sitting here trying not to let all the snot come down my nose, but if you see it, it's going to happen because I'm not getting up again. So we live. So you're getting live and real raw. But yeah, amen, Reverend Banks. Yes. Amen. Amen. Give him glory. I mean, for such a time as this, absolutely. There's for all of us to be brought from different, from different corners, different places and spaces in the world, in the States. You know, we have someone on the West Coast. We got on the West. So we're cut our state. We're covered on the West Coast, in the center, right? With Detroit, kind of in the center. We got over on the East. Here I am, Philadelphia. Now we're gonna go down south. We got North Carolina covered. Okay, then we're gonna go all the way down to the tip to the Panhandle, all the way down in Florida. Oh, but no, we still going to stretch across the waters. We're going to stretch across the waters. We're going to reach to Eugenia. Oh, well, don't forget that we can't forget we got Josie up here from Canada, so she's attached to us too, right? And even though we didn't get a chance to hear from Shirley, but we still going to wrap this thing all the way around. We still going to reach the greater space of Hong Kong and China, where all of this, the whole world is connected. Like this is what I'm seeing. And this is just the kind of the beginning, what was dropped in my spirit, because you guys don't understand, this thing was supposed to happen. Well, in my mind, the vision that was given to me, 25, it was 25 speakers, 5 countries. I literally had a speaker from every country. And I still do have speakers from every country. It just wasn't it wasn't time. So when this came together, and I think I talked about it in a live that I did, when this came together, there was only supposed to be 2 speakers. There was only supposed to be 2 speakers. And those were the rest of my other ambassadors, who you will get to hear from later. Shout out to Yolanda and to Jerry. However, it's kind of like you said, doing the work. And God was speaking to me, was like, okay, you got to plant, you got to plant, you got to plant. Be back with these seeds, right? I got to plant. So I've been planting. I've been in different things. I've been doing different. So I've just been going in direction. And a lot of times it was almost like being in that what's that thing called? I guess a fuselage or something like that. They use to spin the seeds so they can grow faster, right? It's a scientific thing, so that when you get those seedless grapes, they're not really real grapes, but they put things in this thing to make things grow faster. My son did a science project on it years ago, and that's kind of like how I was feeling, like I'm planting these seeds, but things were just going fast. It was like, okay, pause, stop. It's time to plant them. It's time to plant them. It's time to continue to plant them. And that's what I was doing. And then next thing I know, time just went. But as time went, but because I was still being diligent and doing those other things, then that's when some of the shelves were being cracked, and was like, okay, this one, okay, that one, okay, this one. I mean, even Bridget, we didn't get on a conversation until about 2-3 days ago. About 2-3 days ago, and now she's here, right? Charles, we had a conversation not even a month ago, and yet you're here, right? and same thing with Wendy and EUGENIE, like within the past 30 days, within the past 40 days, we going to just say 40, within the past 40 days, all of this stuff transpired. And sometimes it just transpired immediately, and it was suddenly, and it was just like that. Like I heard some other people had described in their testimonies, like God just kind of does things just like that. And so now putting this all together and now seeing the bigger picture, what dropped in my spirit as I was getting this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just a sneak peek. A sneak peek of the greater vision, just a sneak peek of the greater mission, right? So once again, I gotta let this sit. I have to let this sit, and I have to continue to let this minister to me, and I have to continue to listen and just continue to follow. And I'm just so grateful and thankful to everyone who trusts me, right? Who trusts me with this platform, who trusts me with God, what God has trusted me with. So at any given, when I start to look and I see, God will bring you the people that's for you at the right time, in the right moment, in the right space, in the right place. And I just thank all of you, who, even the ones who are on listening, even for the ones who are, watching this replay, and for the ones who are just going to watch this at any given time. There's a message in all of this. There's a message in this that's going to be for everyone. You're going to get something out of it. You're going to get something out of it at some point, time, and everything. So as we end this thing, and I know we're about to start ending. So Charles, I'm going to say thank you so much. So I know you have to get ready to go. So Charles, thank you so much once again for just being our lead, just being and leading us in ministry, leading us in just godliness, and just leading us as our king. And I'm gonna call you king because we're all queens. So leading us in this realm of knowing how to be able to follow behind, right, the word that's being given to us, and how we're being led by a man of God. So that I thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, cousin. I appreciate once again the opportunity, and again, as your king, the king respects his queens. He respects his queens just as Christ, the church. And of course, that's another conversation. but
Exactly.
there's so much that can be talked about in that. So I am on my own journey as king, and want to make sure that I respect, love my beautiful queens from across the world. So God bless you. It's been a wonderful opportunity, and you know, my cousin loves you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And
All
just
right.
been a pleasure just to serve with everyone here. I've enjoyed everyone this evening. Thank you all, and God bless you all.
God bless
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So Bridget, we're going to just bring this down. We're going to go from Bridget, then to Allegra, then to me as we kind of, wrap this up. So Bridget, thank you so.
Listen.
Listen, you know where my heart, girl, we know this thing. Like we ride or die. Like that's literally what it is, And I like I said, just like I said, if people don't understand, they think I pop up places. I get it from her. Like she dropped it and I picked that thing. I picked that thing up. And I made my own. Like you have to give credit where credit's due. Like people admire me for doing the stuff that I do. That's kind of like you think I'm unorthodox. Okay. That's literally that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give you that face. Y'all know what that is. Y'all think I'm kind of crazy for just jumping on planes and going different places. I had to see somebody else do it. It was this one. It was this one. I'm just saying, like, fear not. Like, if this is where God is leading you and telling you to go, you have to trust and you just have to go, even if you don't understand what's at the other side. You just know that it's for a reason. I mean, and that was we trucked that back about 3 years ago. When we first interacted, it was about 3 years ago, and in between, we've been still still interconnected, even to this day. Even to this day, even in a pandemic. How about that? Pandemic. How about that? She done took me on a road trip through the mountains, y'all. To drive between Vegas and California. I done got to see what she was seeing. So that's what it is, right? That's what it is. But love, dear, we will continue the conversation offline. But thank you so much for being a blessing to all of us and giving us this word of how we can bridge this gap. Because it's so relevant. It's so relevant and it's not talked about. And remember, it's like what we talked about, said, just be you. And you did you.
Bless God.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. So we have now Miss Allegra. Girl, we connected now, right? You ain't going nowhere. You ain't you part of the team, yo. You part of the team. You took one for all the team. But
what a great team. What a great team to be a part of.
Yes. This is like yeah, that's all I can say is and that's it, much love, and for someone who's still coming out of the weather a little bit, I thank you for that too, and I'm just grateful and blessed that you are here and able to still give your gift, and that's the gift of you.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. God bless everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So now as we bring this thing and wrap this thing up, you guys, listen, thank you for hanging out with us today. It's been real, right? It's been real. It's been real. Thank you so much for spending this time. I hope and I pray that you got something out of what you heard today. If not, please go back and rewatch this thing. Listen to it. Let it digest. Let it sink into your spirit, because there was a lot of things that were dropped, a lot of nuggets that was dropped in this time. And as Bridget said, in such a time as this, be ever so ready and be ready for the feast that's ready for you at the table, like Steve the Legacy, and he's talking about be legendary and how it's your energy and it's your mindset, and he was still able to be part of this, and then for everyone at any given time and point that has been part of this this ministry, right? This ministry, this everything that's coming out of this vessel that transcends into other vessels, because we're all interconnected. We're all interconnected, and it's not by accident that we're all connected by the ways we are connected. So thank you, Monique. I see you. Thank you, Josie. I see you. Yolanda, I see you. Deidre, I see you. Allegra, she's going, but I still see you. Yolanda, everyone that's been part of this, thank you so much. And this just gives me fire to just know that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and there is so much more to come. So thank you guys. Be blessed. Have a wonderful and blessed rest of your Sunday. I hope this will take you into the week and weeks to come to position yourself when we do finally come out of this, whatever this is, right? So that way you can then create your new this. You'd be like, well, this is it. This is what I have. This is where I am. And this is what I have to offer. And this is how I plan to serve. So you know what I always tell you guys, listen, be empowered, be inspired. But before I tell you this last thing, I just need for you to just sit in this and just take it all in and be able to share this with someone. If you think someone needs to hear any of the messages that was dropped today, just make sure that you do so. And once again, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. If you need to reach out to me or to any of our speakers, you just basically, you go to, you put it in the comments, and then we will get back to you to make sure that you get the nuggets that were left for you. Especially if you registered, you'll get something from all of our speakers that have something especially for you. And I just want to make sure that, this thing goes on, that you have something to reference back to, and it's not just a one-time thing. So we will see you come September for part 3 of this 3-part series. That's what's placed in my spirit. And it really may even go beyond that, but we'll see. We'll let the direction, the wind blow mean in that direction, however that may blow. But in the meantime, once again, I said, be empowered, be inspired. And so now, with everything that you do, will most importantly, make sure that you're magnified. This your girl, CAROLYN Wilson. Thank you so much for spending a Sunday afternoon with us. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right. Thanks. Take care.